Welcome back to the Chop Shop. What's up? It's Aaron,
And I'm Damon the Clown.
Damon the Clown.
Damon the
Damon,
Clown.
tell the folks at home why you're wearing a clown outfit.
I am wearing a clown because I wanted to go against the grain and pick an underdog in the Super Bowl. And I picked the Patriots to win. And I said if they lose by 2 scores, I would come dressed as a clown. And they got the shit kicked out of them. I think technically only lost by 2 scores, but spiritually lost by much more. So, yeah, I went for an underdog. They got killed. And that's fine because honestly, the reason I picked them is I even said it at the Super Bowl was that like it's reasonable for the Seahawks to win. But like I was just so done trying to battle the take all season. Like
Yeah.
I had been like doing this schedule stuff. Like I swear to God, I was like the first person to even take a peek at their fucking schedule and be like, this has been nothing. And then I had said it and I said it and they won a playoff game and they won another one and they won another one. And I was just so sick of it that I just decided they had plot armor and took them, but that was wrong, and the Seahawks killed them.
Problem is they had you rooting for them.
That's true. That's
And
true.
the only team that's ever benefited from that is the Oklahoma City Thunder. There's one team in existence that's ever
No,
benefited
we
from
take
Damon
that.
Ritchie
We
rooting
take
for
that.
them.
They're so good they can't be beaten by my bad luck. So we're gonna talk about the game, and but I'll take it off when we're done. But I have to wear it for the duration. So yeah, what the fuck happened? That was something, huh?
For everybody watching, we had a little chop shop party, watched the
We
game
did.
together. It was
We
cute.
did. It
Uh,
was cute.
um, yeah, I mean, I feel like anytime you and I have watched a game together, like we yap during the commercials and we're like dead silent during the game. And it was almost the opposite of
We were
that.
talking like crazy. Oh, I mean, it's the Super Bowl. You got to watch some commercials, and then
Well,
I mean,
that was the only thing kind of worth watching for a while. Man,
even that
and
though, like
yeah, the commercial thing has kind of been dead for years, so, like,
I've been
whatever.
saying it for at least 5 years. I can't even like watching for the commercials at this point is just a waste of your day. Like,
Yeah,
don't like just don't
100%.
watch it then.
Well,
Like,
I still think they were still having, like, 5 that were decent every year, but, like, this year, it was all just AI commercials
dude,
and
seriously.
crypto and,
And
yeah.
that AI commercial about trying to like scout football players, that was so
Oh.
fucking stupid. That shit was dumb as fuck. I can't believe that they even like who actually follows football and thinks that they can like simulate who's gonna be a good leader.
Yeah,
Like, dude,
it's
that's they would have figured that out in the scouting process at this point. Like AI is not gonna tell you that shit. Like,
AI would have said that Antonio Brown had good character, so
true.
I
True, 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 true. AI would have told you to take Drake May first,
Oh.
sadly.
No, and,
Hopeful
we
what's up?
hopefully what?
Nothing. I was gonna you're good.
We can, kinda hop into why it was like
Unwatchable.
that. Yeah, it just, I mean, even for a little bit on both ends here, it was a little shaky. I mean, I
First half.
remember you had just walked out and you were, like, walking back in. That very first, throw that Sam Darnold just overthrew JSN, where he had, like, 70 yards of wide open field in front of him.
Yeah, dude. That's
Like, there was just
that's a
little
crazy
stuff like
miss.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, like, they really should have won by, like, a lot more. Like I don't even wanna, like, start with this conversation. It's like the Seahawks had, like, a little bit of something the whole time, and they opened up with, like, 4 field goals and whatever, but, like, at least they could move the ball, and the Patriots just couldn't at any point in this game,
No.
really. Like, there was that one drive once the Seahawks went up 19-0, but other than that, like, it was a lot of, like, pressure from, like, the rookies on the offensive line, and then Campbell was just horrible. An all-time bad game.
This was possibly one of the worst performances, like, in Super Bowl history from a lineman. Like,
It has to be.
14 pressures in one game. I
It was
think
the worst single performance of the whole season, like,
yeah.
regular and postseason. It was the highest.
I actually saw, so this is crazy. The entire and mind you, we're taking a small, like, 4-game sample size versus a 16 at the time game sample size, but the 2017 Browns offense regular season was more efficient than the Patriots postseason run
I saw
offensively.
that one. It was like 1 point per
1.13 points per drive, I
something
think.
like that, yeah.
I I
Like,
mean,
there's there's been a lot of numbers come out about this one, and,
yeah,
like, I am glad that, like, people are finally, like, coming down to earth to Drake May. You can see how many people really wanted to get these takes off, but, like,
yeah,
couldn't, because they knew they weren't gonna win the battle up until then, but, my one thing is, like, yeah, that's horrible, but you're also not gonna play, like, 17 games worth of top 5 defenses, and
oh,
May was bad through the playoffs, like, absolutely, but he did have to go against 5 top 5
yeah,
4 top 5 defenses, so it's like, you gotta play a little bit better than that, especially when the Super Bowl is coming, especially because, like, similar to Herbert and the Chargers-Patriots game, like, there were throws to be made from Drake May, and he just didn't, and he held the ball, like,
mhm,
way too long, and it was like, on plays where he was pressured, he was mostly doing the right stuff to try to get out, and then the plays where he wasn't pressured, he just, like, wasn't pulling the trigger, and there was literally
yeah,
we or like I think might have said it. I said, "Get open! What do you do?" Because I saw Drake May sitting for like 5 to 6 seconds in the pocket, and then it shows the replay, and we both see a crosser go wide
yeah,
open
wide
that would have
open.
easily gotten them 40 plus yards. And it's like, yeah, dude, those are the throws that Herbert wasn't hitting either. And yeah, it was he couldn't do anything, and he was in a blender. And I think we do got to remember that he's very young. Like
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Joe Burrow got like kind of not carried, but almost carried to the Super Bowl as well. And then they just ended up,
Mhm.
they lost to, and then he ended up being a super amazing quarterback. And I still think Drake May has that, but I feel super vindicated that everyone's coming out and like saying like a shame that 23 votes were wasted on Drake May when they could have voted for Justin Herbert. Like that shit's so funny to me. We didn't even get to talk about that yet,
No, I
but
think
it's not a big deal.
yeah,
But but yeah, he didn't play great. And then on the other thing, when we started off, Darnold, he really didn't play that good either. Like people are starting to do I mean, I've seen it only a couple times where they're doing the like, is Sam Darnold top 5 now thing? And like, I don't know. I think Jalen Hurts had a better argument for that than last year
yeah.
than Darnold does now. But
Well, and, the thing I really hate too, and, I know you jumped onto Darnold a little bit, but, this is something I was thinking about Drake May is, like, he's getting the Jalen Hurts treatment where it's either he's just terrible or, if
dude,
you're a Patriots
seriously.
fan, you still think he's top notch, and it's like, "Hey, how about this is just a pretty good quarterback, a guy that's got a bright future, maybe hasn't handled pressure super well this early, but it's year 2 and he made it to the freaking Super Bowl.
Mhm.
Like, that's the biggest game he's ever had in his entire life. Like, I don't care. You have the argument with some Alabama guys that come in and it's like, "Oh, well, his first regular season game might not even be, one of his biggest games ever." But, like, the Super Bowl, he's absolutely played the biggest game of his life,
Right.
and
Like, doesn't
it
get bigger until you like win
no.
one or whatever. But
Yeah, and for me, like, it was an okay performance, like, not really, it was pretty bad, but
yeah, it's pretty
I'm not
bad.
looking at the playoffs in a nutshell
You
now, I'm just
you
thinking
see
back
the
to the whole
nasty
thing.
stat, like, the stat pad coming out when they're like, Drake May threw for the most passing yards in fourth quarter Super Bowl history. It's like, "Bro, don't do this."
Yeah,
Like,
that's crazy.
don't do this.
That's why I kinda wanna soften it just because, like, the Super Bowl was one thing. You made the point about how many, top defenses he had to go against, but, like, he had, some decent composure, he kept his cool the entire time. He didn't make insanely bad mistakes, through this whole run. Like, here and there were some head scratchers for sure, don't get me wrong.
Dude, that
There was
absolute meatball to fucking, uh, Julian Love at the end
yeah,
with 9
that
minutes
was
left in the fourth, that was horrible. Like,
yeah,
he
and that's clear
he just got, like,
frustrations.
yeah, he just got, like, antsy. I mean, it was late. He wanted to get a quick score so they'd have as much time as possible, and he just took a risk he really had no business taking, and it wasn't even close on the throw. Like,
Yeah, to sum it up for me, it's just pretty mediocre, if not bad performance all around from start to finish, but, like,
Couple throws.
a couple throws here and there, wasn't awful, could have been worse. And that actually kind of leads me into my next point. This team needs help, like really
Yeah,
bad.
dude, I was just thinking, like, this really could just be like the Commanders again, where, like, you look at their roster going into next year and it's like, where's the star power? Like, how do I know you're gonna be able to do this again? We don't, and
We don't at all.
I think they're gonna have like, they're obviously getting a first place schedule, like, they are getting, like, the world's easiest first place schedule, though, like, they're gonna have to play, uh, uh, the Jaguars, who I'm not super sold on yet, the, the Broncos, who, like, they're not even the favorite to win the division next year, and then they gotta play the Steelers. So
Yeah.
it's like, it's not even gonna be, like, horribly difficult, but I think it's you could easily see a world where they just don't have the talent, like, Henderson doesn't take that next step, Campbell goes backwards, you lose Diggs or whatever, and
I don't know if Campbell really can go backwards from where he's at right now and still have playing time.
that's true.
I mean, uh, I
There's
think,
a real point where you could have considered putting in the backup.
oh, God. And the reason they don't is because of the first point, is because they don't have, whoever
Mhm.
they're replacing him with is
Yeah,
probably worse.
there's a
If that,
reason they drafted a tackle 4th overall, like, they need him to
yeah.
be a guy.
And, you know, I think really just a few key things that aren't that hard to attain need to happen to make sure that this team stays afloat is Drake may, at the very least, play how he was playing like weeks 7 through 15 ish.
Yeah, till
Um,
the end of the season.
Will Campbell do what he was doing the first 10 weeks of the season?
I also heard
Um,
that he had like, a sprained ligament or something, or he had something wrong with him, and, like, I don't know, I can give him some grace. I don't know how often I believe, like, the entirety of the stuff that comes out, like, out after the season's over.
I hate it.
Why didn't you put that on the
Tell
injury
me.
report? That's just so
Yeah.
weird to me. I don't know, but I so, yeah, it is a little strange. It would make sense to why, because he was having this specific issue as I was watching people go over that, like, watching different people's film analysis where he was just not setting his feet at all, and if you have, like, an injured knee and something's going wrong, I could see why you would be, like,
Yeah.
sketchy and not want to plant and just absorb all that weight, but, like, if that's the case and you're that bad off, you can't play straight up,
No. If
and
you're changing the very, like, behaviors that you've instilled within yourself to play your best game, no, 'cause
no,
if
not
anything,
gonna
you're
work.
just teaching yourself bad habits. I mean,
Not gonna no. I
yeah,
completely agree, and I think they have a very good chance of, like, bouncing back and being better next year. I think they have a fair amount of cap space moving forward, and, they'll have opportunities, but
they have
I think it's gonna be a
11
lot more
total
difficult
draft
next year.
picks.
Huh?
They have 11 total draft picks.
That'll fucking do it. Hit on about 4
Um,
of those.
and they are still they're 41 million under the cap.
Oh,
Um,
under the cap?
yeah.
Gotcha. That's pretty
So
good.
they
I'll take
yeah,
that.
pretty
I
good
was going
amount of
over cap
space
numbers,
there.
and it was nice seeing people in the, like, 30 million range, so they're still gonna be in a pretty good
Mhm.
spot. Who has way more cap space is the Seahawks. They They
Yeah.
have a future, man. They look like they could do it again next year. Like, I know we say that about every team every year, but, I mean, they're gonna be able to, like, reload if they want to. Go again.
Big thing here, though, for me, looking at what they do have, in terms of cap space is really hard because, I mean, you've got looming extensions with JSN,
Yeah, of course.
Witherspoon, and they do need to address their depth at wide receiver.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's a big thing. So, but I mean, that's what the cap is there for. So you
Yeah,
go
for
spend the
sure,
money.
and one of those guys that's gonna be a free agent absolutely earned his payday in this game. Kenneth Walker
Yeah.
grabbed Super Bowl MVP, and this was my pick, obviously. I mean, like, I feel like most reasonable people had him as well, and he through this playoff run with him being able to take the backfield by himself, I think he's more than earned a payday, especially because,
Mhm.
like, what's it gonna cost you? Like, 12 to 13 million a year? Like, it can't be so much, and I think they have it looks like 72 is what I think I saw, 72 million?
Wow.
Yeah,
Actually don't have that number in front of me.
73 million going into the offseason. And like we'll get into it, but like I'll just say it now. They're going to be losing Rashid Shaheed, Josh Jones, Boye Mafe, Kenneth Walker, Josh Jobe, Kobe Bryant, Tariq Woolen, and Jake Bobo. Like just run
There's a
it
lot of
back.
those.
Like you could
Yeah.
like throw that. Like we'll get into this later, but like in this game individually, the defense was smothering. Run game was doing its thing. Darnold was fine. Like I'm not gonna say he was bad. Like he was fine, and he just kind of left a lot of points and big plays on the table and there was a like you said the miss to JSN, and then there was a post that JSN completely waxed Gonzalez on, and he threw it behind him, and Gonzo gets in for the breakup. And there was a miss over, like everyone's talking about the great play that Gonzalez made deflecting against Rashid Shaheed late, where he like had the full extension on the ball. Darnold
Mhm.
underthrew that ball. Like that
Yeah.
could have died. I mean, like that's a harder throw, so I'm not going to give him shit for it. But like that's another one you can hit, get at least all of those yards. Like you're probably not going to get a touchdown, but but he missed a few of those, and he was
Yeah.
fine. He was fine.
Yeah, I mean, there's a reason there's a pretty low threshold you have to meet as a quarterback to get Super Bowl MVP. So
Yeah,
I mean, that right there
hit
already
one
just
or
kind of
two of
shows it
those, and you probably get it.
genuinely. I mean, Kenneth Walker didn't even have a touchdown in this game.
He just got all the yards. He did
Yeah.
the whole thing. Like JSN wasn't doing much anything most of this game, and they needed Walker to do it
No,
all.
and then he left the field for a while. Yeah, I mean, but
I
got
saw a
other guys involved.
small percentage of fans say that this MVP should have went to Myers for the
I mentioned when we were watching the game, I had mentioned that, and I think we did end up because we talked about it for a little bit. I think we did just end up settling on the fact that, it's Kenneth Walker for sure. He was like the entire offense. Myers did
yeah,
score all a lot of the points, but
most of the points here. And he was
but I
5
mean,
for 5. His longest was 41.
yeah.
Like, nah, dude. Hit 150 and I'll consider it. But that's just
Yeah.
no. You're hitting layups, dude.
Well, and especially because the fact like he's in that position to kick that because of the fact that this man
Yeah.
just trotted you downfield,
Yeah, Walker
So
was like the whole offense, and he did good enough that you have an easy field goal to kick. Of
yeah,
course, like
exactly. And his quarterback was and he wasn't messing the game up. I'll give that to Sam Darnold. He's done that before. And
yeah. I mean, he's been doing it most of the season up until this playoff run, and
yeah.
that's my only thing. Like moving forward, like they had a lot of turnovers this year, and then zero turnovers the whole playoffs. Like, do you think that can happen again? I don't know. I feel like that's almost like lightning in a bottle to do something like that.
Um I think a lot of it has to do with coaching. Like, some of those mental mistakes that happen, that just not all the time, obviously, but sometimes those just happen because you're not fully locked in, you haven't been engaged in the game, something's going on there, and, this is just such a well-coached team that I think possibly, I wouldn't really rule anything
Yeah,
out because they I mean, it
yeah,
Seattle Seahawks from week 15 through the Super Bowl was the personification of a football team playing a video game and sitting forward.
yeah.
Like, uh,
Yeah, they
they
did. I
locked
really
in,
didn't think they
dude.
were built like that up until that first Rams game, and it was like, and for most of that Rams game, they were just like, yeah, this is what I thought. Like they're like pretty good, but not great. And then they won the game, and then like you said, they just took over from there.
It was such a crazy ride to go on with them the last, like 6, 7 weeks of the season. And I I don't know. I don't want to rule anything out with McDonald, man. I became just such a massive fan, especially finding out I haven't vetted this personally, but people are saying the only defensive play caller to ever win a Super Bowl as a head coach. I don't.
And
You know,
he
I've
had
just
such
seen.
a great play calling day. Like, he was all the way in his bag all game, sending, like, nickel pressures and dropping DTs into, like, coverage and shit. It was some crazy shit here, and you start to think, like, maybe Drake May was just literally seeing ghosts because of the play calling from Mike McDonald, and it's
Dude,
possible.
just the constant pass rush the whole game. They were on his ass. It was just I don't know. Um, I very impressed. Yeah,
As
final
a
verdict could happen.
As, like, a defensive guy too, it was nice to see, like, a defense win the Super Bowl because, like, I
Mhm.
was worried that, like, the Patriots would just get in, they'd be like, "Oh, elite offense," knowing that they still have pretty good defense too, but, like, it's nice that the crazy defense is the one that won on, like, an offensive game that was, like, fine.
Yeah, I mean, it got to the point to where, Mac Hollins had to blow this open. Not blow this
What a
open, you know what
play
I
too,
mean?
dude.
Yeah,
That was great.
I mean,
I
yeah.
Good.
It just insane that they had to go that deep in their bag to figure something out. I don't know.
I The throw before that too, he threw like a dig across the middle, and I feel like it was such an accurate throw, but I feel like it was just a bad decision that he got lucky on. But who am I to say? Maybe he just built like that and can hit that every time. But and I don't know. But Seahawks won. They killed. They are champions. They're looking good for the future. The team's getting sold too. How crazy is that? It's just like,
Yeah,
hey,
I
come
saw that
buy this
before.
NFL team. We just won the fucking Super Bowl. It's
I saw they
something.
announced that before the game. I was like, "What? That's
Yeah,
weird."
come get your team. Check it out. See, is it worth it?
Yeah, I mean,
Man,
I
that's
don't know.
funny.
Cool. Buy at a high, I guess. I mean, yeah,
Probably just buy another team after that. Buy 2
right.
teams.
At that point, yeah. Um, yeah, I mean, do you wanna talk going forward? You wanna talk Bad Bunny?
Yeah. I was gonna ask if you wanted to see the halftime show, and, I'll keep the clown suit on for this one since I'm not a Bad Bunny fan, but
What's your review?
I mean, it was good. Like, I mean, like,
Yes.
I think visually it was great. I thought it was super interesting. Everyone was talking about the, like, people dressed as trees. I thought that was really cool because you got to move around the props a lot easier.
Mhm.
I liked a lot of the imagery. I liked the real wedding that happened. That was crazy.
Yeah.
This was Asia's first season following football from start to finish, and they got their favorite music artist as a surprise appearance. Lady Gaga showed up and did like, that was so cool for me and Asia personally. Like, I thought that was pretty sick. And then my only real complaint is, like, I just didn't really like Bad Bunny's vocals. I thought he was kind of, like, uninspiring, but he also was,
Little
like, moving
flat.
around a lot and doing a bunch, but it, like, sounded like he was doing that, and it kinda just, like, ruined it for me. But I liked the "God Bless America" thing and then listed all the countries on it from both North and South America. I think that was amazing. The message on the back, loved that too. I just didn't love the performance, really.
Yeah, fair enough. I did like the fact that, like, you know, there were people licking their chops waiting for some,
Yeah.
so like, do
"Oh,
something,"
I want a
and then
reason to hate on these people so bad. Oh,"
uh,
and then you
eh
get there and he's just like, "Love everyone." You're like,
yeah,
"Ugh."
yeah, it just send in such a positive message, especially because, like, the very presence of him at the halftime show was already such a politicized thing from both sides, and, yeah, the fact that he was just let that be and then just went out there, did his thing, sent his message, and then went home.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and, like, the statement was made, like, all through the year. You didn't have to make one at the Super Bowl, and that's kinda cool. Like, I was waiting for a statement, and I wanted a statement, but, like, I think it was better without. So, I'll give him that. It was a good show. I just whatever. But I also have never enjoyed a halftime show ever, so it's not like I'm being particularly critical of Bad Bunny, and
Yeah, even when there is an artist I like, it's always kinda I don't know. There's it's either, like, too much or too little or I don't know. I it
people make the joke of like, "Oh, there was a game on before and after the Bad Bunny concert," and it's like, I don't want a concert in the middle of my game. I really just don't
no.
care about that at all. It's whatever, and I'll watch it because it's on, but I just don't care.
Yeah, yeah, even when The weekend, like, it was cool when The weekend did it a few years ago. I love The weekend, and,
Me too.
I liked the performance, but even as a pretty big The weekend fan, I wasn't like, "Let's go, let's go." You know, I wasn't, like, hype for it, you know? I don't know.
Yeah.
I, uh I think it's because I am such a big music fan and I am such a big sports fan that I kinda like those things separated in my life. I don't know.
Yeah, I feel you. I, what do you think for next year? I heard the take that they should do the girly pop queens and do Sabrina Carpenter, Chappell Roan, and Billie Eilish.
I'd be cool with that. I
I
mean,
think
why
that'd be
not?
sick. I
That'd
would
be cool.
really enjoy that. And then I also was thinking, Knocked Loose?
Yeah, that ain't happening. I doubt that. That'd be
Yeah, there's
crazy.
no way. That would be nuts. They'd have to
Dude, I would
really
be all over that.
they just wouldn't make any money.
No.
Like, every year we see the numbers go up for watching the halftime, it would drop dramatically. They
Sponsored by, Monster Energy. Knock
Here's Knocked
loose.
Loose
Instead of
featuring
sponsored by Apple
Poppy.
Music. Yeah.
They
Yeah,
Oh,
just,
man. Maybe
I don't know.
Spirit Box, they played the Grammys or something.
As a metal fan, I kind of it's been a while. It's even and since there's been a rock band really play, I think maybe Coldplay would be the closest thing.
Right. Yeah,
You
for me,
know?
it's like, it's just never gonna happen. Like, there's not really a wide, like, appeal for that kinds of stuff, and if we ever hit that point, then we'll probably do it, but it's not gonna happen.
Yeah, and they're even getting to the point to where they're very specifically just looking for the audience, obviously, because they just
Right.
picked Bad Bunny. Then that's literally the reason because that's like the biggest artist. And they're
Plus,
really,
like
really trying to do the international thing too.
yes! That's
Yeah.
what I was gonna get to. They obviously do this because 'cause they're trying to go international, and Bad Bunny is massive around the world.
Yeah.
So, like, yeah, that's clearly what they're doing.
Look at how many international games are
And
next year. They like
I
doubled them again.
I also heard somebody say that they should do K-pop next year. I think that would be funny as fuck.
Whatever. I'll
Just
check it out.
whoever they feel like doing. I don't know, but
Yeah. I think it should be Logan Paul. It probably will be actually.
he'll make an appearance. No, he's gonna be on the Turning Point show next year when they got I can't even think of somebody who would fit. Tom McDonald.
Jelly roll.
Jelly Roll would be good, yeah. For the
Um
Turning Point USA. They're gonna have some, like, AI artist at Turning Point.
Yeah, you're so right too. With all the AI commercials they had this year, man.
Dude,
It was
they're
sickening.
bad.
It was sickening.
Yeah, I can't do it.
Crazy stuff, man. But, yeah, I mean, moving forward with these teams, we kinda touched on it a little bit. I couldn't help myself 'cause, yeah,
It's
you can
just
take it
eating.
off.
That was awful.
RIP Clown Damon.
Yeah, retiring now. Nah, we'll see him next year, don't worry,
Oh, don't
when
make
I call the Chargers to sweep the Chiefs and
Yeah, and will call the Bears to win the Super Bowl and won't be wearing it.
because they're gonna go back to back, duh. Duh.
Yeah.
Alright.
Yeah, but, moving forward, one thing I didn't touch on when we were talking about this earlier was, they built in a potential out and I know this is counterproductive from what I've already stated, but they built in a potential out for Stefan Diggs
Yeah,
after
you think
this
they're gonna
year.
take that or no?
I mean, I think it really depends on what they see how they wanna deal with those draft picks and that amount of cap space. Um, because, like, I don't think they're, like, totally sold on him, you know?
Right.
He had a great season. By his standards was, fine. He's very obviously getting older. Um, there was a lot of off the field issues this year that maybe they don't wanna deal with,
Oh, yeah, did you hear that he and Cardi B broke up during the Super Bowl?
during.
During the bowl.
That's hilarious. Would she
It's
pull him
so funny.
aside mid-game? Was she waiting for him in the locker room at
I
halftime?
I don't know, I guess there was some dispute with him, like, getting his baby mama tickets in front row or something, like, and just I don't know. I really don't know. I didn't just some drama stuff. I think they should keep him,
Crazy.
man. Like, what else are they
I
doing? I think
I
they
yeah,
got plenty of money. I didn't write this one down because I mostly took NFC notes for the show
the
today, but I do have it pulled.
41,000,000
41.
at 41.
Yeah, I
I
mean, they
don't
got plenty, and
well, and
I'm
they
getting 36. I don't know
he
what's
is
wrong with that.
signed for 3 years. They just have a
3?
poten yeah, that was the
Why would they do that?
contract. I don't know, but they have a potential out after this season.
Oh, after the 2026 season?
No.
Oh,
Right now, they can get off his contract,
gotcha.
but he
Yeah,
is
I wouldn't.
yeah,
I would
I
wait.
wouldn't either.
Uh,
I was
you
just
need
given the
somebody.
hypothetical. Yeah, I think it seems like most of that stuff has been dealt with. Like because he was in some legal trouble too, wasn't he? I don't fully
I
remember.
think it's like I think it mostly blew over. If that's
Okay,
really bad, then yeah, obviously get rid of him,
yeah,
but I'm
um,
assuming it's not.
yeah. It doesn't seem so. It seems like it kind of died. So I don't know, but yeah. Other than that, I think there's no reason not to bring him back. He got you 1,000 yards. Whatever, kind of an overrated stat, but I mean,
Sure.
he's a dependable receiver.
He's been there,
And
and, like, you're just
and
not gonna, like, improve off of that, like, not
especially
necessarily.
because I think where you're at right now, you need to already improve upon so much that why make this any worse?
No, I completely agree, and, like, receiver is such a hard place to, like, get better, like, like, you have to fill a room, so, like, if your room is, like, bad and, like, you may as well keep around Diggs as, like, the veteran that you don't really have many options. So, yeah, I'd say keep him, and then from there, I mean, obviously, they're gonna have to do something about O-line. I feel people are saying that they should move Will Campbell to guard. I would maybe consider it in the future, like, maybe give him another shot at tackle, let him heal up, and, I mean, he came in as a tackle, let him give it a shot, but he's gonna be a great guard if they do that, so, I mean, just keep that option available and then maybe draft another tackle, and yeah, I don't know.
I
I
don't
don't know
see
how
a
to take it.
reason they don't dip into free agency and grab Rasheed Walker, or at least attempt to.
Yes.
That would
He's,
be
like, my favorite
huge.
tackle in this class. I think that'd be a great pick for them.
I know, and, I only wanna discuss him with one team because there's actually so many teams he that would benefit with him right now, but I will
I'll
or
bring him up in
I
passing.
we're doing it just a little preview. We're doing NFC free agency stuff, after this, but this is an AFC team. I will say that,
Yeah,
we're
we're
you
getting
know, I
Patriots out of the way.
yeah. Rasheed Walker with the Patriots, I think, is a really good fit. They need that help so desperately. They've got 41,000,000. Um, you know, we saw what happened with Will Campbell with this playoff run, so, they just need a lot of help. You do have a lot of draft picks. I think, uh, that's one thing that you can there's a lot of receivers in this class, and I think, that's how you kind of address that issue. I don't know
You
much
can get
about
one of the big free agency names, like, if they can replace Matt Collins with, like, Mike Evans, that'd go a long way.
yeah, and I mean, uh, what are your thoughts on Booty? Is he a
I
rookie
like
this
Booty.
year?
I like what's up?
Is he a rookie this year?
No, I think it's actually, like, his 3rd season or so.
Really?
He's just kinda been floating around. Let me take a look.
I don't really see a reason Demario Douglas, I'm, cool with him not getting a whole lot of time
Yeah.
this year.
Yeah, this is his 3rd season. Yeah, Douglas
3rd
is
season,
good.
okay.
He's just so
He's
it's like he's never gonna be a featured guy. He's always gonna be like a slot guy, and there's just not much you can do with that, like, frame and that body size, but I think
yeah,
he's good at the role. You just need more than that.
yeah, and I think, great name to throw out there with Mike Evans too. I think that addresses a huge issue they have with this receiver room is size. Uh, I mean, that very much addresses it considering Mike Evans is a freaking monster.
Ain't big, ain't big.
Uh, yeah, there's really a lot here. I think another piece they could be looking for in free agency to kind of help bolster the offense a little bit. Kyle Pitts.
Yeah, I was just about to say
Let's
it.
go, baby. I
Oh,
think
man.
Kyle Pitts would be a great addition to this offense. I mean, even just Diggs, Kyle Pitts, a young draft pick for receiver, and then, hoping Henderson can just kind of take a jump. Already you've improved so much.
Yeah, and you only really need to give him enough of a jump so that he can, like, complement with Ramondre Stevenson, who's been pretty fine this year too. Like,
Yeah.
you just need him to get better in pass pro and that stuff, and Kyle Pitts is great because they have a starting tight end in Hunter Henry. Like, they don't need
Mhm.
Pitts to come out and strictly be a tight end. Like, he can come out and be a weapon, and yeah, I like that too. I think that's a great pick.
Yeah, and I think it's a good mutual fit too.
Mhm.
Because I think what Atlanta's been asking out of Kyle Pitts the last like 2 seasons really just isn't what this guy's ever been billed as. Um,
Right, right.
I don't even see a reason they've called him anything but a receiver.
And yeah, and, like, I always said too that he probably should be a receiver going into the draft, and he's just not he's more of a weapon. That's okay.
Yeah.
You just
Yeah.
gotta, get him in the right team.
Well, and that's why it's such a good mutual fit because that's what they need is just a weapon.
I also think that they could bear to use, maybe another, like, edge. Like, if they were a team to go out to get, like, Trey Hendrickson or, Owe or Jalen Phillips or something, I think that'd go a long way because they already have, the front pretty built out. I think they can afford to get somebody who's like a pass rush specialist. I think they could afford that risk, and I think Hendrickson would be a good pick for them on defense,
Mhm.
and, yeah.
Yeah, also, I'll have more clear examples as we get into the draft and stuff like that. But just speaking on a macro level, I have heard this is a really deep edge class.
And free agency
Um, uh, no draft.
when the draft. I haven't
Yeah,
heard anything about it.
I forget what
It'll be
I listened to a couple different shows today, just like, post Super Bowl stuff, and that was one
it'll
thing
be
I
fun.
heard a couple times is just there's a lot of edges in this draft.
Were you,
You know
listening to Building the Beast
Yeah,
from The Athletic? That shit's
yeah,
good, dude. That dude's nails. He knows what he's talking.
yeah,
I
yeah,
can't
that
remember
was
his name
today.
off the top of my head. Brugler? Uh, Dan Brugler?
Something
Who does Building the Beast?
I am almost there. Dane Brugler.
Dane, of course. Yeah, he's a
Yeah,
genius, and he
yeah,
works really hard and does good work.
yeah, and,
Uh,
that episode I listened to today was on and that was one thing he mentioned was just, really deep edge class, so, um
good.
yeah, so I think
That'd
that's
be sick.
another way to address that.
I
Yeah,
worry
I
when I hear something like deep edge class because I feel like if they're not a top end edge, it's really hard to like be a full well rounded edge unless it's just random, like a Max Crosby or something.
very specifically, he said that's funny that you said that. Very specifically, I remember him saying, "I always caution taking an edge outside of the top, like, 10 picks for that very reason you just said," and then he very specifically said, "This is 1 year I'm not worried about that." So,
Huh,
yeah,
hell yeah.
I need to get a timestamp
Get one
on
of them
that.
in the Chargers since we're gonna be losing like 3 of them or something,
Oh, man, yeah, we'll get into
or
that next
2.
week. Oof.
Mac and Owe, and then Thule's gonna be looking for an extension, and he's not even like a pure edge like that, so we probably could use an edge in the draft this year if that's how it plays out.
Yeah.
But any more on the Patriots? We can move over to, the gluttonous Seahawks, or at least they're going to be.
Yeah, I'll just get this out of the way just because I already touched on it a little bit. I'll just quickly, you got the JSN and Witherspoon extensions; those are looming. And I think added with JSN, I think well, you said Rashid Shaheed is going to be out there. Um, they need to address wide receiver depth. I think that's a big thing here. Darnold and JSN kinda had, like, a buddy system thing going on for a lot of this season, and I think that's gonna be recognized, and that's gonna their teams are gonna attempt to pick that apart next year. I mean, you saw it in the Super Bowl, kind of. I mean,
Yeah.
JSN, they kind
I
of
mean, nobody else did much of anything. They have the tight end who I think AJ Barner. I think that guy's
yeah,
gonna be something to look for in the future and be a little bit more stable. Other than that, yeah, I don't see how long is Cooper Kupp gonna last. I don't see them actually signing Rashid Shaheed back.
I don't either.
I I think it'd be fun, but ultimately, I think they do wanna get, because like, when they traded for Shaheed, that completely took Horton out of the lineup, and he kinda was looking nice. I think they might wanna just find him back in there.
Yeah, and I think I actually on record last week or the week before mentioned, Seahawks a good landing spot for Kyle Pitts, and I actually am gonna take that back after seeing what I saw. I like
No, I
AJ
think it's
Barner.
better now. Now it's better because he needs to be the second guy.
That's fair enough. Um, I did not watch that guy like that this year, but just eye test in this game, I loved what I saw, and yeah,
He's got the
um,
dog test in him.
yeah,
They're, out of all the guys they're losing, like, they're losing Boye Mafe, they can probably let him go. I think if they were to give money, maybe if they can give entirely, like, 3-year contracts, I think they should give Walker whatever he wants. So if they wanna do 4 or 5 years with Walker, go for it. That's a lot for a running back, go for it. If they wanna sign Josh Jobe, Kobe Bryant, and Tariq Woolen all to a few years, I think they can afford to do so with the cap space they do have while also preparing for the future. Then some of those guys, if you need the space, you can move off of them, do whatever you do. But I think most importantly, like they have the ability to run it back like the Bucks did a few years ago when they won. When they're just like, hey, we won a Super Bowl. We're gonna keep the fans happy and bring all of our guys back. And I think they can afford to do that a couple years if they wanted to.
yeah,
Because
and I
like
don't
where
see a
else
reason
where are
not
they
to.
even gonna spend the money in free agency? Like
Not
what do they
exactly
need to
sure.
replace?
Um, other than like I said, wide receiver depth would be the like literally that's first on my mind, and that really isn't even like a major issue. you know, they've
Yeah.
got options on this offense.
That
They're not a starting
oh,
offense.
dude. If they went and got Alec Pierce, man, how filthy would this be?
I
Like,
man, I
Alec Pierce becomes, like, the outside threat and the deep like, the gadgety deep threat too, like, alongside JSN doing whatever he wants. I don't know that they can be stopped.
Alec Pierce is another guy that I have basically made a prediction in my head for to go to every fucking team. like
And then he's
he
just gonna sign back to the Colts, and we'll be like,
yeah,
"Aw, this is
yeah,
Will's shit." We had
exactly.
all these expectations for Alec Pierce. I'm gonna think of every literal team and be like, "Oh, Pierce would make this shit open wide open."
Right.
Bro.
Rams, man, Tay, Puka, and Alec Pierce.
All of this just to beat Sam Darnold.
Oh god. Yeah,
But do whatever you want, Seahawks. You're
y
champions. Fuck it.
straight up, yeah. And obviously, there's a good reason to just run this back because of what you just said.
Yeah, all the more reason.
Super Bowl team. Yeah. Um,
No more
yeah,
jerseys.
you got anything else on, Seattle or New England, throughout the offseason going into 2026, 2027?
I don't.
I'm good too. Well,
Congrats, Seahawks.
yeah, we'll give you your, couple claps.
Yeah,
Good job.
well
Yeah.
done. Hate you. Well done. You wanna we could probably pivot to, the rest of the NFC West if that's the case then since we're gonna be talking is that what we're gonna move on to now is these NFC free agents and off-season preview?
Yeah. Yeah,
Alright.
I know we wanted to discuss some, contenders around the NFC. We said something about doing teams that might go
Oh,
from bad to good.
yeah, because they
Still wanna
both
brush.
did. Both these teams did it.
Yeah.
Who do you have any off the top of your head that you think could go it's like we call them worst to first, but they can be, like, bad to good, yeah, like you said.
Yeah. Um, so do you wanna keep this within NFC as well?
It doesn't matter.
Okay, fair.
Yeah, you know what? Let's do NFC.
Okay.
Let's say our NFC picks and then talk about what their offseason is gonna look like.
Um, so, I will mess with the rules a little bit already, right after you said them. I will do a division, and then I will do another team. I think the NFC East as a whole is gonna have a crazy, uh, not obviously not worst to first, but, crazy improvement just top to bottom. And I think they're gonna look a lot like the NFC North or the NFC West this year, from this past year. Just straight up, Commanders are gonna get healthier. Again, these are just predictions. I don't have a crystal ball, but I just
Yeah, I mean, you
there's
can't.
no way they're yeah, there's no way they're
They
not
could at any
healthier.
year have like 22 IR players and ruin everything.
Yeah, um, yeah, I think they're just gonna have better health next year. Jaden Daniels, I'm hoping bounces back, has a really good year. Uh, I hope that they see the issues behind this team and they can address those pretty easily, but we'll see. They've got an aging defense, aging team really. Uh,
Yeah, I don't know that I'm with you on the Commanders. Like
okay.
they could do it because Jaden Daniels is like obviously incredible, and if he's just healthier this year, then you got somebody completely elevating your floor. But it just looks so bad. Like they have 67 million in cap space, and that's great. That's awesome stuff. But they're losing a lot of guys. Like obviously these older guys that it just wouldn't make sense to sign back. Bobby Wagner, Debo Samuel, Zach Ertz, Von Miller, Andrew Austin Eckler. Uh, but it's after that, it's just they need so much. They're losing like, I feel like the offensive line still needs help. They're gonna need receivers
Yeah.
outside of McLaurin, and he spent the whole year fucking injured. So you don't even know if he's gonna bounce back good. They're losing Debo, like I said. They're losing Noah Brown, who, like, shockingly important to their receiver room. They're losing most of their running backs, and they're gonna have to put all of their chips in on, Bill and hope that Bill actually takes that next step
Yeah.
his sophomore season. And then, like you said, an aging defense, it's horrible. The
Yeah.
defense is just bad. It's you got the worst version of the defense, and they're gonna have 67 million, but they have a lot of changes to make. And they also, I think, is it just an new offensive coordinator? Did they sign somebody?
I actually don't think they have yet. I don't
Of
believe
course,
so.
there's no way. Oh yeah, David Blau.
I
I don't know
remember
nothing
David
about this
Blau getting
guy.
a job. I did not remember. I remember that name and, getting a job, but I
Right.
didn't
We
remember it
we
being the Commanders.
joked about it on here. Called
Yeah.
him David Bluck.
And to be completely fair with you, that is the one I believe in the least,
Mhm.
to improve in this division. That's kinda why I started there. Cowboys, I think there's no way that defense doesn't improve. You're gonna get a new coordinator. Um,
That's true. The coordinator alone could turn things around because
could.
they do have good, like, edge depth, I think,
Yeah.
or, like, the possibility of edge depth, and I have on here the Cowboys. I have because have you seen their cap situation?
I'm gonna assume it's not great.
It's pretty horrible. It's,
Yeah.
minus 31. They're 31 in the over, 31 million over,
Yep.
and, so, like, there's ways to, like, save it and, like, to where they can get under. They traded for Logan Wilson. If they move off of him, they'll save 6.5. They can move off Malik Hooker and save 6.5, or, they can move off Terrence Steele, the tackle they signed, I think, a couple years ago. That would save them 9 million, or the really hilarious one, they could move off of Kenny Clark and save 21 million this year,
Yeah.
20 million next year,
I
which
was
if they're
actually
gonna.
about to mention that.
Yeah, the Kenny, yeah, and, like, cause now they
Yeah.
have Quinnen, so, like, they don't necessarily need Kenny Clark, but it's, like, it's pretty funny in the grand scheme of things that, like,
Crazy.
they
Yeah.
claim they're, like, reloading and make a trade better for their, like, defensive identity, and then they just move off of him because he's not worth it. But,
He did have a
but
pretty
then on top
solid
of that, like,
season.
they're gonna be given the franchise tag to George Pickens, and that's gonna cost, like, the entire money that they're saving on all those moves, and I just wonder if they need the defensive coordinator to be an absolute hit, and then if that's the case, then they can bounce back.
So, I do have a way that a lot of that, what you just said, could be affected. Um, I was actually gonna talk about this with my AFC discussion next week, but since we're on the topic, I think whatever, because it's relevant to the conversation. I think, Denver Broncos heavily tried trading for George Pickens.
Man, that'd be good. That would they
I
do need a
think
guy like that, so I could see
I
that for sure.
I think that is or Bills. I see the Bills doing it as well. For me, I
George
think the
Pickens would
Bron
go crazy.
yeah, 100%. For me, I
Fucking
see the Broncos doing it more than I see the Bills doing it, though.
right. I don't know. I could totally see the Bills doing it if it's possible because they just went through a year where they tried to do the receiver thing like slow and steady and it like completely burned out and collapsed. I could see them being like, okay, no more bullshit. We're getting a one. I don't care what it costs. But obviously the Broncos could make the same decision.
Yeah, well, my argument against it was because they just made the major swing of firing McDermott, but I guess usually when you take major swings like that, they do come in 2s or
Compound them with some
3s.
more major swings. Yeah, I could
Yeah,
see that.
that's fair. That's good counter argument. Okay.
But, I do see you with the Giants in this discussion though. Like I think the Cowboys, like obviously, like they got Dak and they got an incredible offense and they got the new coordinator. They could bounce back and do it. The Commanders have the incredible quarterback, new OC. Maybe they figure it out too. The Giants, I like.
It's pretty obvious.
They have 7 million in cap space. They have an up and coming quarterback and a running back that looks really good. Neighbors is awesome. They're in a prime position to get another weapon if they see fit. They're losing a lot of offensive linemen in free agency. It's all of Jermaine Illuminor, Evan Neal, and Greg Van Rotten, but their line kind of sucked anyway. You may as well just get new faces in there. Why even bother with it? And outside of that, like they have some needs, but they have a pretty big weakness at corner. But you can alleviate a lot of corner struggles with great edge play, which they have, and they have great interior as well. So like I yeah, I think they can be something to move forward next year too, especially with better coaching.
Yeah, and I didn't mean to, take anything away from what you were saying by, saying it was obvious. It's just because like
No, no, no.
that's talk of the town and it's exciting to look at just top to
Yeah,
bottom, the changes they've made. Um, you know,
especially with
you
Harbaugh
had
coming in.
yeah, and you had what 17 seconds of Malik Neighbors and Jackson Dart.
Not
I think it
enough,
was
that's for sure.
not hardly any. And
It's a good game.
yeah, I
That'd be
think
another
it's
team. Good.
I think the one, major issue here that kinda takes the wind out of the sails a little bit with it is, I think we touched on this, last week, is, the fact that Monken's not gonna be joining. That sucks a little bit, but still excited for this team.
Yeah,
Why am I
and like
forgetting who they got? Oh,
I
Matt
don't
Nagy.
love yeah, see, I don't love the Nagy hire, but, like, it's not like that's the worst hire ever. Like, you still think that he could possibly do something. He's done something before.
It's fine. Yeah, I think it's fine.
You'll
Even
see.
as Bears fans are, usually pretty negatively biased against Matt Nagy. I'm not one of them. I think
Mm-mm.
he did fine with what he had. Mitch Trubisky's not a starting NFL quarterback.
As much as people tried to push that agenda. I also, I thought that, like, maybe they could be willing to trade Kayvon Thibodeau. Be an interesting way to get some assets and,
Huh, I
rearrange
like
the
that.
way that they have their roster built. Needs I have his offensive line, wide receiver, and basically all of the secondary, corners, safeties, both. Um, I have a couple I have cut candidates, but my computer's wigging out.
Gotcha. I can touch on that a little bit. I mean, a wide receiver, it does kind of suck because, you really wish that this wasn't a contract year for Wandale Robinson because he would be wonderful to have within the room next year.
Yeah.
And you're definitely not, I don't think personally going to be able to sign him back. I think he's going to warrant a little bit too much for what you need him for.
Yeah, and, like,
Um,
these, like, role player wide receivers are signing for, like, 18 million now, like, you
yeah,
can't sign that back. That's devastating, and,
yeah.
as I'm
Especially when you
pulling this
have the rookie contract and you already have an offensive line issue and that needs to be addressed.
yeah, absolutely. They need to find something out there, like, there's not much interior offensive line, which is, like, their bigger weakness, but
Mhm.
there's guys to get, and hopefully they can work on that. Excuse me, they have 7 million in cap space. They could cut Bobby Okereke, That would save 9 million. They could cut Devin Singletary and save 5, Graham Gano and save 4, and James Hudson and save 5 more. So they could clear up roughly like 20 million in cap space if they do all that.
Yeah,
Plus whatever elevation we get from the cap space that happens every year. So
I think a big one I had here, and I'm double checking to make sure this is who I remember it was good. Um, I think I had Connor McGovern for the Giants.
to go to the Giants, that'd be great. That'd be an awesome
Yeah,
get. Him or
yeah,
I've been
yes,
looking at. I
okay,
mean, I've been a big Cade Mays guy. I think that'd be cool too, especially with scat and trying to do the run game stuff.
yeah. Um, Big thing for me, I think center is just huge to address for. I almost said rookie quarterback, a young quarterback. Very big, and a lot of great experience. He's got. I think Buffalo's probably going to try to get him back.
You
I
may as well.
imagine.
It's
But
like the only good thing they had going for their offense was the line. He's a
yeah,
compliment.
well, yeah. um, that would be best possible. Best case scenario there, though, for the Giants is, having that happen. Interior offensive line, like you said, is a huge need for them. Um, yeah, and I think Devin Singletary is a pretty easy cut candidate out of the group.
Yeah,
It, I
you
mean,
don't
you've
even think
got
about that. You
not really, no,
you
no,
just do it. Plus, Graham Gano, the kicker, like they found their starter. I can't remember his name, but he got like replaced at the end of the season. Like that's just
yeah,
easy decision to make.
yep.
Um, if we're going worst to first, I feel like I'll
Oh,
save the AFC ones, but
yeah, I've got AFC ones, but yeah, I'll save them for we can have this
right, I got one that
before.
I like, but I don't wanna get on a tangent on the AFC when we have so much to talk about with it next week.
Yeah,
Um, which, like, kinda limits things that are going on because like, then you could say, like, Vikings. I don't really believe that. I don't see that happening, and then there's teams like, you could say the Saints. They still have, like, minus 41 million cap space. I don't
yeah,
believe that either. I think they need at least another bridge year where they get rid of the old guys,
yeah.
but, yeah, other than that, I don't really
I think
either the teams are too mid or I don't believe in their immediate future.
I think the only NFC team that even has, like, the possibility to go worst to first would be the Lions.
Well, they were worst. I forgot about that
Yeah,
that's funny. Yeah, no, I would give it to them too, but like I said, they're too mid to, like,
yeah.
like,
I think they're
I
the
think they
only
could
one
be
that is
worse.
even, like, possible, really. I mean, we did just kinda glaze on what the Giants are doing for sure, but I
Are
don't
they
see
even
that. Mm,
were they worse?
yeah.
For sure? Okay, cool.
Washington was 5-12, Giants were 4-13. I just don't see. I mean, Philadelphia ended 11-6. I see them maybe being like 9-8 at the very worst next year. 10 and
Oh, at the
7
worst, yeah,
likely.
okay. Yeah,
10-7 likely at least. I just don't see the
like,
Giants having that kind of bounce back yet. I think year
to
to
be first? No, I don't think
yeah,
so either.
no. And to
But
be fair, I didn't think that would happen with the Bears this year. So obviously anything can happen. And Jackson Dart showed more potential in his first season, I think, than Caleb Williams probably did. Jackson Dart
yeah.
also raised a lot of red flags in his rookie season. Um,
Yeah, and they both did,
they
but,
yeah,
he had his fall off too, and Caleb Williams had his good games his rookie year, so,
mm,
yeah, you could probably say that if you wanted to, but I don't know.
yeah. We'll see. I think Harbaugh is going to instill a culture in this team, and that's what I think the Giants have needed for a long time. Um, Kind of post Eli era. Uh, and I think this will really do that. I don't think Dable ever really had a presence that I think Harbaugh immediately gives. Um, yeah, and I think that's gonna translate with the team, but I don't think it's gonna be enough to do that in the first year. And then, yeah, like you said,
I mean, he's
Saints
made good
just not
staffs
doing it.
before. I mean, like, Mike
Yeah.
McDonald only has a job because he brought him in, like,
Mhm.
and but yeah, I mean, if you wanna do you wanna move on to the next set of teams? We could probably do the North since we were talking about the Lions, and I could talk about Lions. Every team in the North looks like it's gonna have minus cap space, so that's good. Uh, Lions are minus 9 mil. They'll be losing DJ Reader. I just had him. DJ Reader. Hold on. Wait for me. I'll be there. I'll be there. Don't you worry. Alex Anzalone, Avante Maddox, Rock Yassin. So nothing too crazy. I think they can save close over 20 million if they cut Taylor Decker, Graham Glasgow, Brock Wright, and David Montgomery. Maybe they can trade Montgomery if he's worth anything. But
I think that's imminent. I don't think that man's playing another down for the Lions.
yeah, I could see that for sure. Which is it's a huge bummer, but we've been kind of waiting for the Jameer Gibbs show for some time now, and I think he kind of proved he's capable of it this year. I mean, there's
Yeah.
some weaknesses there, and they obviously don't like him in like pass pro and stuff. But I think you kind of got to trade that trade that out
Yeah,
for the
and
explosive runner.
did you see, the stuff with Montgomery at the end of the season?
I saw he was like liking comments about them saying to get him out. I don't know how much that means, but I don't know.
My
Well,
the only thing for me, and, this very, very easily can just be described as it's the end of the season, but, like, he just, like, was just, like, posting, like, peace signs to everything Lions.
yeah, vague posting.
Yeah, so and we've seen guys do
It,
that and then never get traded and sign
get an extension a
extensions.
week later.
Yeah. We've seen that before,
Yeah.
so I'm not going too deep into that. I think it's more so what you were, getting on there. I think it just kinda makes sense. Clearly they need to kinda spread that out a little bit more, help out some other areas. I mean, this team, it's hard to ever say that this team has a depth issue. I think a lot of that has to do with coaching. I do believe in Dan Campbell now. I'm a believer, fine, whatever, you did it. Um, but,
Who
like,
knows, man? Like,
this
it
team
went
can
pretty south this year. Like,
yeah, but they once again had a major health issue.
yeah,
Major health
you're right.
issue.
You're
And
right.
they were kind of staying afloat for a while. Last year, I don't know how they still kept the freaking, pedal
Yeah.
to the floor.
Legendary coach Aaron Glenn kept him in it.
But yeah, no,
Future
you're right.
Detroit Lion Aaron Glenn.
And I mean, you're totally right. I mean, they did beat the Bears week 18 and they looked really good doing it. Now, I think a lot of that was kind of the Bears had been flat for a little bit then from the Niners game. I
Mhm.
think the Niners game was the week before that. But
Maybe.
Detroit looked solid in that last game and they, still had the health issue and stuff like that. Um, yeah, I think they could spread out a little bit of that money. Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll see though.
Make some space. Like their needs is like they just need to get healthy, but then they need defensive stuff. Like I think they
Yeah.
have a fair amount of good bodies up front, and like obviously Hutchinson is giving a lot of ammo on the edge, and but they need corners. They need corners every fucking year, and then they just need to be healthy. And then I don't think their line is like a weakness, but they need to make it better because Goff can't get out. And he's just like he was having trouble just like just being limited Jared Goff, and you have to have a rock solid line if that's what's gonna happen. And so I could see them making improvements there. But they're kinda locked into their team, and, I mean, it's a good roster to be locked into. I'll give them that, like Gibbs, Penei Sewell, Amon-Ra, and Javonte, no, Jamison Williams, and then just, Brock Wright and Sam Laporta. I mean, I have Brock Wright as a cut candidate, but they don't need to. That's 3.5 million. So, like, I think it's a good, set of stars to have on your team if you're going to be locked into something. A tier one pass
Yeah.
rusher, like
Yeah,
even
and
Brian Branch and other guy. I can't remember his name. The other safety.
Oh,
Something Joseph.
Kirby Joseph, thank you.
Kirby Joseph. Yeah, that's a good safety dude too. It's literally just figure corner out somehow. And like I would say we're gonna talk about fits. If they can clear some money, this is my favorite corner free agent is they gotta go get Jamel Dean. I think Jamel Dean
Mhm,
is nasty. I think the Bucks should want to bring him back, but I could see them not considering the defense is so far back anyway. But Jamel Dean, he allowed a 46.9 passer rating on throws in his coverage last year, first in the league. He's kind of been a sleepy monster for a long time. I think he would be a perfect fit on the Lions.
mhm. Yeah, um, solid. Touching on, something you had said earlier in that, I think they sorely missed Frank Ragnow this year.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah, that's devastating
desperately.
too. I mean, they even thought they were going to give him back.
Yeah, and, uh yeah, I forgot about
Yeah,
that. I forgot about
yeah, and
that,
then they
and
found out he like
did
shredded his
passes.
knee into a million pieces or something. And yeah, it was
Yeah,
so horrible.
they sorely missed that this year, and, that needs addressed. I I don't know if this is, like, too on the nose of a thing, but I know people say this. Is there a player conditioning issue? You
I
know?
don't think so. I think it's
And I'm not
similar to
even.
basketball where it's like we're just kind of getting to like an athletic peak where people are doing more than the human body can even take. I think that's more the issue, unfortunately. I just don't really know how we solve that.
Yeah, I mean, I always ask the question, I never get an answer because there really isn't an answer. I mean, sometimes that's how they address the issue, but every time this happens, like consecutive seasons, I'm always like, man, but, like you said,
What are you doing wrong to cause this?
yeah, and it seems like it'd have to be something that's pretty obvious, if it is on them. So, I don't obviously like making that claim that, oh, they need to fire their player conditioning coach because XYZ. Never going to make that claim. I will ask the question though.
Sure, that's a facet I've never really understood. Like we hired Ben Herbert last year to be our strength and conditioning coach, and he was like amazing, and everybody loved him, and we had this like abnormally healthy season for the most part. And then we turn around this year and we're banged up again. And it's like, oh, okay,
Yeah,
well, I don't even what do we even do about that? So I think I think you can probably improve that department of your organization. I think more often than not, it's just going to be random and luck of the
yeah,
draw.
yeah.
Who knows
Luck.
though? I'm not there.
Exactly, yeah, and that's it for me as well. I think luck plays heavily into something like that. Um, and I don't have numbers in front of me. I don't know if injuries around the league are up or down. Seems like they're up, but it
I think
seems
they
like
were
they're up every
down
year.
this I think
You
this year
see it,
they were
it
down,
it seems like
but
every year they go up, but I tell myself that every year, and that can't be true.
yeah, I mean, I don't have the numbers either. I think there's just I think the injuries happen all the time. It's just sometimes they happen more to the big name, so people notice it more.
Yeah,
But
and that's fair. Yeah.
got any more Lions?
No, I do not. I think we could probably, move on to Vikings next.
Yeah, I was thinking about moving on the Vikings. A much more complicated situation, I would say. They
Very.
they're walking in with minus 40 million on their cap space. Like they have outs here, it looks like. Like I think basically everybody they signed last year they can cut for pretty easy. Like I think Jonathan Allen and Javon Hargrave can both be cut and save 11 million each. Ryan Kelly, he had 3 concussions this season. Can get
Yeah.
him out. That saves you 9 more million. I think Aaron Jones can be cut to save 8 million there. And I think this all adds up to like get you about to the mark, but like then what are you gonna do? Like you're not a perfect team. And it helps that you have Brian Flores because he can like patch up your entire defense more or less, but
Mhm.
you're not gonna be able to improve on offense. And I would even say that like you'd really feel like you might want to trade TJ Hawkinson because what has he been doing? And that can save you 9 mil too. And that's it's hard for it's that's why earlier I said it's hard for me to feel like they're gonna get there. But
Yeah.
to their credit, they're not losing a whole lot. They're losing Harrison Smith, and he was like a complete bum this year. Like he
Yeah.
was done.
Shell
Eric
of
Wilson,
himself.
that's nothing. Jalen Naylor, I think he's a fun receiver, and I think wherever he goes, like, that might be my round 17 pick in fantasy this year. But 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 it won't be a serious loss, and then Carson Wentz and Ryan Wright. So I it just feels like they're gonna be more or less the same team, but, like, with less of the stuff we were excited about going into this year.
Yeah. Yeah, and to your point there, it's like, after you get all those outs, it's like, well, now you've gutted the team.
Yeah,
and,
like,
and then
cool, you've gotten under the cap space. It's like what the Saints fans celebrate every year. They're like, "Oh, you said we wouldn't do it." It's like, "Cool,
yeah,
dude. Sick team."
and then like, somebody you didn't mention, Will Fries was pretty bad this year too, and that was another addition from the last year. And it's like, do you have
Yeah,
to
like,
improve on that as
we had
well?
them as,
Like
like yeah. We had them as, like, off-season champs, and then, like, everybody they got flopped, and it just
every single one. Yeah,
and then JJ was bad, and, like, at this point, how do you even bounce back from, like, a confidence perspective? Like, you had to go watch Darnold win the Super Bowl. I just
well, you
it's
mean
tough.
confidence as a franchise? Yeah, I mean
No, from
that's
JJ McCarthy, like, from him
oh,
personally, like
uh,
it's like the Carson Wentz shit when they put a statue up for Nick Foles, like, except now your team
yeah,
has
that's
never ran. It's just now they're looking at you like, "What are you doing for us?"
yeah, that's fair. I think, and it's so hard because if you remove Sam Darnold from the equation, I think that like from the Vikings standpoint, you always knew this he wasn't going to immediately come in and shoot the lights out. JJ knew that probably. Obviously you don't tell yourself that as an athlete, but if you're a realist for yourself for even a second, he wasn't going to be an MVP candidate this year, maybe not even, next year. They didn't expect him to be and they don't need him to be. They needed a guy to come in and be competent, throw the ball to JJ or Jettas, and then develop. And they knew that because JJ, mistake or correct me if I'm wrong, was the youngest prospect, that was in that draft class, right?
Yeah.
I think
Yeah, he
yeah,
was. Like, he always
and
needed time too, like, that was his
yeah,
billing is that he needed to develop.
but then it's like human nature kicks in because it's like, well, this guy that you had less than 365 days ago is now slurping champagne in the locker room and kicking it with Kenneth Walker, and he's got a big ass fucking ring that he just won. Like,
And everyone's saying you're an idiot for moving on from him, and it's
yeah,
like and that's,
everybody's
like, super
screaming at
revisionist
you.
history. Yeah, it's like, "LOL, you had Darnold, why didn't you just trade JJ?" Like, dude, I don't know, like, most people were low on Darnold going into the season. I don't know what to tell people about that. It's like, it's not that you actually should have just kept him around, like, obviously, in hindsight, you should have, but with the state that everything was in, like, how do you? How do you actually? That's like when Ravens fans say, "We should have just fired Harbaugh and signed Mike McDonald." Like, teams don't actually do that. It's not a thing that happens.
I do also have a caveat to this also. Um, Bear with me for a second. You're the Vikings and everybody's screaming at you. You see Sam Darnold on the float, everything. He's celebrating, having a good time, everything like that. Look at the contract he got this offseason. He very clearly wasn't warranting top QB market money. Also, the media attention around late regular season through the playoffs was basically like, when's it gonna happen? When's Darnold? When's he gonna
Right.
fold? When's it gonna happen? Because it just happened to the Vikings last year. That's why they from from what I've heard, it sounds like they basically told him, we'll sign you for 1 year," and he just didn't want that. He wanted guaranteed money for a couple years. I think that's what it was, but
Probably.
there's a reason you were doing that. He just shit his pants for you. Like, there's a reason you're doing
Right.
all that stuff. And last caveat here, he didn't like, and I mentioned this earlier, there's a low threshold to win Super Bowl MVP as a quarterback, and he did not do that. And he wasn't
Yeah,
substantial.
seriously, like, I wouldn't put him top 10 yet. He's as far as I'm concerned, he's still just a mid quarterback, but the team is just so good,
Yeah,
and the Vikings were so good too, but, like, this Seahawks team is way better than the Vikings were, like, the defense is way more built out, the offensive line is better than the Vikings offensive line was. JSN is just as good as Justin Jefferson was last year, and, it's outside of that, the running back is better, and,
yeah.
you know, play calling
Basically,
is
the
just as good.
entire situation is better,
Yeah.
except for, you know, the scheme behind the quarter, the offense, but, like,
Even still,
well,
maybe,
actually,
though, like.
yeah, yeah, as soon as I said that out loud, I'm stopping, I'm like, this guy just got a pretty lucrative head coaching deal."
Yeah. And he was like a slow riser for sure, like, he seemingly came out of nowhere, but, like, I mentioned him at, like, the midway show when we were talking about potential coaching candidates going into the year because he's been a name that's been floated around for the past couple of seasons as, like, a capable play caller. He just never really got a chance to, like, prove that he's, like that, and, like, now he did, and so, yeah, like, you could even have the good ecosystem for all we know.
Yeah, yeah, I just think, obviously on its face, what people are saying, how it looks from a macro perspective, all this stuff. It's just, and I know the GM already even kind of said that this isn't true, but I think if you're the Vikings, I don't think you're really beating yourself up as much as it might seem immediately. There
Yeah,
is
I
the
think they're getting roasted more than they actually feel as if they deserve the roasting, for sure.
100%, 100%.
Which is, like,
Um,
the same that's kinda just what sports is nowadays. It's
yeah,
like the Patriots and they're losing. It's like, "Guys, come on." Like, they did win 3 playoff games. Like, you don't have to say like, I saw somebody making the joke being like, "Ugh, I'm sick of these auto bids in the NFL." I was like, "Shut the fuck up."
crazy, man.
Yeah, it is crazy. They literally went to the championship.
Yeah, Drake May's
Anyway,
like 3 and
Kings
1
are
in
just
playoffs.
oh
But
my
yeah, yeah.
god, we're gonna hear that for 4 fucking years. He's gonna go one and done next year, and they're like, It's still 3 and 2 in the playoffs," and then they're gonna lose the next year, and they'll be like, "Where's your playoff wins?" And god, we're gonna have to hear about that for forever. It's like Joe Burrow is gonna be positive in the playoffs his entire career because of those first 2
Yeah,
runs.
and just never
Oh,
make it
man.
again.
Right, like, you just won't get there. He won't get there, or he'll, like, win one, or man, that's wild. It's okay, Justin Herbert's gonna be 4 and 3 at the end of next year. Don't you fret, baby. When he
Are you
doesn't
got
get the
anything
1
else on
seed,
the
we're not that
Vikings?
good. What? No, NFC? Okay, let's go to the Packers then. I was thinking, what if the Packers traded for George Pickens? I thought that would be crazy because Micah was kinda, like, rizzing him up at the Pro Bowl and whatever, and, like, I think that'd be nuts. If they do the same thing, they're like, "Okay, bro, for real, no more wide receiver 2s. For realsies this time. We're getting George Pickens." But, uh,
Yeah, I
Packers,
don't hate that.
yeah, they're losing Romeo Dobbs, so, like, they have a spot for it, but it's hard to entertain it because I just assume that he's gonna be a Cowboy. I think they really want him there. I think they value his presence more than Micah's, and, Packers are going into the season -3 million, so it's a lot easier for them to figure this one out. They are losing Romeo Dobbs, linebacker Quay Walker, our favorite tackle free agent, Rasheed Walker. They might want to consider bringing him back, and Malik Willis. I think they have cut candidates of Elton Jenkins could save them 20 million, and then Aaron Banks, who they signed last year for 4 million, who was horrible. And then I think they also could trade Rashawn Gary to save up 11 because he ain't doing shit. He's
No.
bad.
Uh, Packers fans finally turned on that guy this year.
Good. Yeah, why are we without Micah? We have this other supposedly all-pro edge doing nothing. Him and
Absolutely.
Lucas Van Ness, right?
Yeah, Lucas
They're
Van
both
Ness.
no,
I
they're
th
not doing anything, and
I think, and I'll stay with, the fact that I had, Rasheed Walker leaving. Uh So I think the one keep here would be Quay Walker. I like
Yeah.
Quay Walker. I don't think it's a huge hit on the books. Solid player. I think defense needs all the help it can get really. Who knows what happens with the defense now as well.
I
So,
uh I I like Quay Walker. I feel like they've got is it Edrin Cooper
yeah, Edgerrin Cooper.
that they have at linebacker? I feel like he can probably hold down the fort well enough that I'm comfortable letting Walker go. But I do like him as an option in, like, free agency if that happens, and, especially because 'cause they're in the minus. Like, if they had any sort of positive and weren't trying to, like, make ground, I'd probably feel a little better about that. Because 'cause I'm sure they'd probably rather not cut Elton Jenkins, which would be, like, the biggest help for them, but well, cap space-wise. And then, at that point, I mean, they obviously still need corners. They picked up Trevon
Yeah,
Diggs just to get fucking cooked in a game and drop
already
him.
gone.
Cooked in a play, 1 play, and bro was dust, and
Crazy.
they need that. I think they need to I mean, taking this many swings at receiver is probably a bad idea, but I could see them doing it.
Yeah.
They need some interior defensive line help because Kenny Clark's gone, and they just can't stop the run anymore and up the middle. And, yeah, maybe you bring back some offensive linemen because 'cause they're losing a couple.
Yeah, yeah. Fair enough. I think one question I that comes to mind here for me is, Jeff Hafley leaving for a head coaching position with the Dolphins, and you have Gannon coming in here. Do you think this is an
Great
upgrade or a
news. Oh, I didn't know you were asking me that. I don't know. It's hard to say. Like, I obviously think that anything's an upgrade because the defense just looked bad, but the Cardinals' defense wasn't exactly great, and they didn't have Micah or anything, and they had some pieces, but, like, not Micah, and he might be able to make something happen. I wasn't super impressed by Hafley's work the past couple seasons and with the Packers,
Mm,
so I don't really know that it's gonna, like, get worse, but, you know, if I were the Packers, I'd be happy to have somebody different because it wasn't working.
dude got a head coaching job.
He
Oh,
did.
Miami.
He
Oh,
did good
Miami.
for, like, half of it. He was good during the rebuild part. He's really good at being feisty, that's the thing. He's not good at being good.
Wait, who are you talking about?
Jonathan Gannon?
Oh, I never mind. I think I was talking about Halfley. I meant Halfley getting the head
Oh,
coaching job.
okay,
Yeah.
my bad.
No, you're good.
Yeah, yeah. So did fucking, uh, Todd Monken. He's good too. I'm being a bitch, but, uh
So did, Todd Monk.
This makes me
That's
mad that the Browns
that's
actually
actually
signed somebody
warranted.
good. Yeah, whatever. Yeah, he
It
deserved
just
it, fine.
I think it really sucks that that guy's gonna be a bridge guy, but I don't wanna get into that because that's AFC.
Right.
Do you
Yeah,
have
I mean,
anything else on the
I'm
Packers?
sure he's fine because he's old and he's just gonna take his check and be done or whatever, but what are you saying?
Do you have anything else on the Packers?
No, I wanna talk about the good team in the NFC North.
Love this.
The
Um,
ones that ball.
Lots of safeties gone.
Dude, yeah. That's gonna be
Yeah.
tough.
We need to
Like,
trade up for Caleb
you
Downs.
have to bring I mean, that'd be sick, but, like, you have to bring Kevin Byard back, right?
Oh,
I mean,
100%.
there's just no
I
way.
I don't see a reason Kevin Byard doesn't come back. I do not think Jaquan Brisker's coming back. As much as I would like it, I don't think it makes a whole lot of sense. He wasn't that great this year. Lots of injury issues in the past, lots of concussion issues, and he's gonna be getting a decent bit of money just because of the upside in the youth. And I don't
And
wanna
because
roll
he's
the dice
good,
here. Yeah, and
but
yeah,
yeah,
and I think his peak that he hit this year isn't even his peak at all, like, as a player.
no. Do you
I
think
think
like, he
there's
kinda peaked early. Do you think his rookie year was, like,
so
the best
far, yeah, but
Brisker we saw?
I don't think
No?
that's gone, though. I think that we very much could get back to that with him. Um, there's just been a lot of stuff, I mean, he got a concussion early October last season and didn't play another down the rest of the year. I mean, like,
Those are
that
tough.
was that was a weird situation that was going on there, man. And this season, obviously when you go through something like that, I don't know how much that had to do with his production this season. The defense in general this season really wasn't all that great, so who knows if that has a whole lot to do with it, but all in all, I don't see a reason to really bring back Jaquan Brisker. I think safety's something, we can absolutely address in free agency in the draft, as well as bringing back Kevin Byard.
What do you think about do you like Andrew Billings? I don't know, I feel like he was good at stopping the run at one point, but
Yeah, there's that dude just has like zero mobility, and which you don't need a whole lot for, I guess, for being a good run stopper. But dude is just funny to bring up Andrew Billings. I saw um somebody tweet the other day, and there was a picture of this big ass bear that was covering like an entire road. It was like a 2-lane road, and it said, "Why is Andrew Billings in my way?" It's like, yeah, that's kinda him.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, he's a big boy, that's for sure.
Yeah.
But I
Huge.
was thinking about him, like, it's tough to, like you already have to fill D tackle, and then if you, like, lose a guy in the room who's, like,
Yeah,
at least decent, it's tough to see that, but you're at -10,000,000 at cap, is that correct?
something like that.
Okay.
I've been billing in a certain cut in my mind already. I just because if I wouldn't have prepared for this and it just happened and I didn't think about it, it would kinda make me sad, but I think it totally makes sense to cut Tremaine Edmonds. 1
Yeah, he's the first one on my list. A
Yeah.
Tremaine Edmonds cut gets you 15 mil and suddenly you're in the green.
Yeah, I mean, it just makes so much sense. He hasn't lived up to his contract at all. It's looked better than it did initially that first season when he was on this deal. I hated the guy, because we had TJ Edwards at a cheaper price and he was doubling his production early on. Tremaine Edmonds definitely made a little bit of a bounce back, which is crazy to me. And I think it almost just speaks to how bad Matt Eberflus is, but that's another thing, whole nother conversation. But he bounced back. Still don't think he's producing up to the level that his contract's at, but he solid starter. And
The
I
cap saved is definitely worth more than the value of player you're getting out of him.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think he's a big locker room guy. I think guys around the locker room really love Tremaine, and, that's always a big thing, but it just makes too much sense to move on from him.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I feel you.
sucks. I've prepared for it, though.
Yeah, and that's 15. That'd put you 5 over. I also got a Jalen Johnson cut would get you 6.5, and then a Jonah Jackson gets you 5.5. So I add you another
Yeah,
12 million on top of the 5. That gets you in a pretty decent spot for free agency to fill needs. I had a few different trade candidates that I was researching like potential trade candidates, and like I feel not great about any of these, but they're ones that like save you money. First off is a Cole Komet. I don't like that. Like, that saves you 8.4, but I think he became like, I know Loveland's, like, the guy, but I still think Komet has a pretty valuable spot here, and there's no reason to wanna do that.
I'll take my boy.
It's your boy.
That was me pointing a G space U space N at you. I don't wanna get
I was wondering
I don't
what
wanna
I'm
get
like,
flagged.
you got, like, a blurry look
I guess I could
on
do
my screen right
this.
now, so I was like,
Um,
"Is he"
oh,
yeah,
well.
he's dropping it on
Uh,
us. No, I
no,
I I don't think that's good at all. Huh?
mm. No, keep going.
No, I mean, I was gonna move on, so if you have something. Okay, then I was thinking,
Uh,
DeAndre Swift would save you 7.4. I could see
mhm,
that does leave your running back in a little bit of a weird spot, but in a
I
a
like it.
running back free agency where there's, like, a lot of options, yeah, I could see you moving off of him, and that would get you an extra 7,000,000 or whatever I just said,
I
yeah,
don't mind it
7.4.
actually. A lot of people, including myself, improved their outlook on DeAndre Swift last year. Um, I'm gonna attribute a lot of that to Ben Johnson and the offensive line, to extreme upgrades that only benefit the running back. So, and sue me, Bears fans. I'm sorry. I think it's the reason Kyle Monangai even looks the way he does. Um, I I don't think either one of them are elite running backs or really anything kinda close. I've seen a lot of people tie us to Travis Etienne in free agency, Etienne and Monangai backfield. I'm biased on this guy, though. This guy completely screwed over a fantasy season for me one time, so may maybe
You're
that's why I
welcome,
don't
buddy.
like yeah, whatever. Maybe that's why I don't like Travis Etienne as much, but, whatever. I trust the decisions they'll make here, and I think that as as much as I don't think Travis Etienne, is phenomenal by any means, I do like the idea of him with Ben Johnson, because he is a good dual threat, guy can catch the ball decently. Um, now I yeah, I basically sum it all
How
up.
would
I
you
don't mind
feel how
no,
would you feel about go ahead, what?
oh, my bad. I'm fine with cutting DeAndre. That's all I was gonna How would I feel?
Okay. How would you feel about Breece Hall and Tyler Algier?
Yeah, I mentioned Tyler Algier quite a few weeks ago at this point now. I think probably our first, like, little touch on free agency, but I mentioned Algier. Um, now but I love the idea of really either one of these guys. I think Algier
I
the
was
the
saying
one thing
both. Like, the
oh,
combined
oh,
backfield of
oh,
both of
dude.
them in free agency.
Yeah, I love that idea. It depends on the
'Cau
price tags on both, but,
Sure. It's
yeah,
not reasonable to do that straight
no,
up,
not
but
really, no.
I was honestly, I just, like I feel like you're currently in the state like, I mean, literally you have Swift, but it feels like DeAndre Swift and, oh, who was the guy on the Lions that scored all those touchdowns? Uh,
Montgomery?
Ended up going to the Saints.
Oh, running back?
Yes.
Oh my god!
Williams, I think.
Yes! I kept wanting to say Jameson Williams. It's,
I know,
dude,
right? Jamal Williams. It feels like
Jamal
Swift.
Williams.
Yeah. It feels like Swift and Jamal Williams with the Monangai and Swift. So, like, I feel like you could, like,
Mhm.
change both of those guys and then end up in a better situation. Algiers probably gonna be super cheap. I mean, the world kinda sees him as an RB2, and then at that point, you'd wanna draft a guy who's better, but, you know.
That's funny. I think I actually had the take after Ben Johnson became our coach. I said I thought Jamal Williams was gonna be playing for the Bears this year. Never happened, but
You did say that,
and
and I
then
thought so
I mean,
too,
yeah,
honestly.
you were like that. Why does that immediately make sense?
Literally.
um, I think
Uh,
a big addition here I would love to see Jalen Phillips. I General consensus is that he's gonna stay with the Eagles. I don't really see a reason not to from either side, but would love it. I'm not big on Trey Hendrickson. I think a lot of people the first thing everybody says about Trey Hendrickson this past year was, "Oh, he was the leader in sacks last year," and I'm just so sick of people saying that. I don't care. That's such an overrated
yeah, you
stat
need
to
more.
me. Yeah, I he and that's not to say that he's not a good player. I think he's good, obviously. I just think he's on the wrong side of 30. And
With
I
a hole in
think
his
that
game.
yeah, think it
Like, yeah,
basically
why
just
would
sums it
you
up. Yeah. I mean,
yeah, it's a guy you
the
add to make your already good defense elite, not somebody to, like, save your edge class. I I was even gonna ask because I have one more name here in the trade stuff. What how would you feel about trading Montez Sweat?
um I think I kind of jump
Saves you
on
6.9.
and I get that, but I am now on I'm gonna have the same argument for that I do with why New England isn't moving on from Stephon Diggs. Why make a bad problem worse? Um, I
You're right.
I think you need to have a rotation of these guys too. Even if you address this position, you need to address it with keeping what you have. Um, the guy I forget even what his name was that the guy we traded for from the Browns at the deadline.
Oh,
I think
Joe Tryon
Shoyinka,
Shoyinka.
yeah,
I
he's
almost put him on here, but I didn't think it was relevant enough.
no, he's gone. But the guys you need to keep in rotation for sure, Austin Booker, Montez Sweat. Um, I don't even know where we're at timeline wise with Odengbo, to be honest
I
with
forgot
you.
about him, to be honest with you.
And he's getting overpaid in that position. So it's
They
like,
tried. They tried.
yeah, and
What my
yeah.
one last guy, if you're cool for that. I was thinking about maybe like Nashon Wright. Like I can't imagine he goes for a whole lot. He kind of was a valuable piece this year.
So Nashawn Wright, I think got a little bit of a boost notoriety wise because of the interceptions. Just that was a big part. I saw that guy get cooked a lot. Um, a few too many times for me to really want to prioritize bringing him back. Now I'd be fine with it for the right price. I think that there's a lot of teams out there that really, really need um, corners really bad though, and they're gonna be willing to give this guy more than what the Bears are willing to do just based off of that interception metric alone. So I don't foresee Nashawn Wright being a Bear next year. For depth's sake, I wouldn't mind it, but it would have to absolutely be for the right price.
Anything else on the Bears?
Um, Not necessarily. We need to. I need to stop seeing Bears fans mock trades for Miles Garrett and Max Crosby. Not gonna happen. It's just no. Um,
I don't know that it's a smart decision, to be honest.
it's just not. It's just not. We did that with Khalil Mack, and that is either gonna
It
be
was
the
kind of
same. What?
I guess that was kind of different. The defense was kind of already established when he did that,
And that's fair.
whereas
Yeah,
it's
that's
not.
fair. That's fair. Now they just kind of use the argument that like that's the biggest hole, and we were
He'll
just
do it
in the
again, right?
deep in the playoffs. Yeah. Yeah, I just don't think it's the smartest decision. I think it's gonna warrant the same compensation that you gave up, if not more than during the Khalil Mack trade. Especially if you're looking at Myles Garrett. My goodness, I couldn't imagine. Plus, with that, you're also taking on that contract, and it's not the greatest money situation right now. Just
No, I
overpaid
mean, you're fighting
ju
against it a little bit.
just overpaid Grady Jarrett in free agency last year, just overpaid Odengbo in free agency last year. We gave Drew Dahlman a pretty good amount of money. Now, it's working out well. The offensive line was awesome. But I mean, we've for us having a lot of our major pieces on rookie deals, we've got a lot of guys we're paying too, and for a decent amount of time. So yeah, I think you gotta find a lower grade here, and I think Jalen Phillips covers that for me. But yeah,
Yeah.
we're good.
We did most of the NFC North, well, all the NFC North then. We've looked at a lot of these NFC East teams. We passed up the Eagles. Do we want to talk the Eagles a little bit?
Um, we can touch on it
Shockingly, they're
briefly.
the only team in this division. Oh no, no, I was going to say they're the only team with positive cap space, but that's not even close to true. They have a
Guess they
plus
can't.
10 going into the year.
Mm. Yeah, I don't really have a whole lot on them. I think a whole lot of what this team is going to depend on for this next season is uh I don't even remember who it was that offensive coordinator they got. I mean,
Oh,
man, and
Sam Mannion.
I don't remember, but
I
man,
I
it
know it's
just
Man. I'm pretty sure it might be Sean Mannion.
and we touched on this last week briefly, but man, it just really sucks that Sirianni's job is like almost feeling in jeopardy because of this offensive coordinator situation when dude like what 370 days ago now won a Super Bowl. I
Dude,
mean,
seriously,
it's just crazy.
it's
I think
insane. That
the
Philly
one
market is something else. I don't even know what to
uh,
say about it. It's outrageous.
nuts. This is kind of this would be a big move, but one of the freaky scenarios here I would love is Eagles actually trading AJ Brown and seeing what they can get for him. And I think a really good way to counteract. Really good way to counteract that would be to go and get Romeo Dobbs. I think
Yeah.
that would be a great addition to this offense, and I think it really sets you up for letting Devontae Smith kind of blossom, and he's shown he can be that guy, man.
Yeah,
I
I like that actually. Yeah, I think he can be that guy, and you get Dobbs
yeah
to like be a hey, you're definitely going to be the two, but important. We need you outside. Yeah,
yeah
I could see that for sure.
yeah.
I like
I
that.
think that I don't have a whole lot other than that. I like I said, I have Jalen Phillips going to the Bears, hopefully, but that would be just and we can finally cut the bullshit with all the, supposed drama that's always happening between AJ Brown and the Eagles and just kinda get away from that. Who knows who wants to trade and what the I don't even know what the compensation would look like here. I have no idea. Um, I
Probably a
think
first and change, I would guess.
the Bills would have to
That
be
could go.
interested. And I mean, the 2 obvious ones that we already named earlier in the episode, the Bills and Broncos, I mean, they're the 2 obvious candidates here
Yeah,
for a trade with
I
AJ
could see him
Brown,
doing that.
and I think both teams benefit greatly from that.
Hey, Packers could go do it too, man. That'd be cool.
It wouldn't be cool, in
I don't know that
fact,
that's something
but
they'd
they
want to
very
do
well
because they
could.
probably want. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, they probably
They're
wanna see what they have
losing
in
a
Matthew
bunch of
Golden.
nobodies. Good.
Well, I was just saying they probably just wanna see what they have in Matthew Golden, I imagine, still.
Yeah, and they're losing a bunch of like nobody, like Reed Blankenship, Jahan Dotson, Brandon Graham, Adoree Jackson, who was kind of a liability. And Kobe Dean's gonna suck. They got guys to cover for him instead. But they're losing Dallas Goddard, and it kind of doesn't seem like they're gonna bring him back. So I think that might be a decent loss. I don't know where they're gonna get their tight end from, but
Yeah.
maybe they trade
That
for
would
Cole Kmet.
fuck you. That would be a major loss because, I mean, Goddard hasn't been that elite tight end. Not he's not your Trey McBride, nothing like that. But he's been a very great gear or cog in this machine in this offense. He's been like the constant in
Right.
this offense over the last 3 or 4 years. Uh, because Saquon had a down year this year. I don't think Goddard really did. I don't know. I'd have to look at the numbers.
I don't think so, but it's
Um,
his presence is usually more. It's not like numerical. It's usually just like big
no,
plays and big moments, and he's always there. And it's like Hunter Henry, like unspectacular, but gonna hurt when he's gone. Is
yeah, yeah.
that all you have for Eagles?
I would say so. Yeah. Not a whole lot there, and we'll have to see with this new coordinator. Yeah, we just have one division left, right? Or did you want to
I
touch
think
on
it's just
any
the
other?
South. We actually might not have done much on the West.
Yeah, that was actually the one I was thinking we still had left. Yeah, the South.
Let's do West. We'll do the Rams. Rams. My biggest thing is they probably want to plan for whenever Stafford goes. Other than that, like they're losing Jimmy G, the backup, Tutu Atwell, whatever. Tyler Higbee, don't care. Parkinson's kind of taking over there. DJ Humphreys, Cameron Curl, that kind of hurts. Troy Reader, I think Havenstein retired, right? I'm pretty sure.
Uh, let's see if Robbie did. I think that might have happened. I'm also really dumb. Yeah. Yeah, retires after 11 seasons. Yep.
Yeah,
He
so
gone.
that's gonna be tough. They're gonna need tackles for sure, like
Yeah.
to moving forward. And but on the bright side, they have 40 million in cap space next year.
Huge.
Star-studded team, and they got plenty of space. Like they're gonna need to focus that, like you've said on other teams. Like they need to focus on extending uh the edge. Can't remember his name.
Jared Verse?
Yeah,
No.
that guy.
Yeah.
Jared Verse and others. they can cut Darius Williams and save 7.5 million. So they even and like their corners were terrible. That's another big weakness is that they need to fix corner. It was a huge weakness basically all season. It's like why the Seahawks could completely like dog walk them on offense. They just didn't have anything there.
Yeah,
That tackle, backup quarterback, maybe somebody to take the reins. Like I've said Malik Willis for this team. I think I like that still, but
yeah, and, I think you've also mentioned, this, maybe a couple weeks ago, maybe even last week, but I think, you gotta have a conversation about what's going on, in the backfield here too. Blake Corum looked pretty good, and I think he's very capable of taking a elevated role. And I mean, what I know he's still on a rookie deal. What's the situation look like with Kyron Williams? They have to talk
I think he got
extension soon,
extended.
right? He did. That's right.
I
He
think they
did.
already
He
did
did this past off season.
last year.
Yeah.
Yeah, and,
Yeah.
like, you could see that
That's
as, like,
right.
a a
Forgot
a a
about that.
like, a chance for a trade. I would say probably not. I would say you probably just wanna keep the room full, but I do
Yeah.
agree, and I said it earlier as well, that they're probably
Yeah.
gonna start moving towards a Corum-led backfield if I had to guess.
Yeah, yeah, you mentioned that, I think it might have been last week, maybe a couple weeks ago, but yeah. Yeah, a
Weeks.
lot of
A
moving
Bears game, I
pieces
think I
within this
mentioned it.
team. Gotcha, okay. Yeah, you've got a lot of moving pieces here, and, I think we are gonna see a draft pick within the near future, a la Rodgers, Jordan Love. I think you gotta start thinking about it. I mean, we've mentioned this a couple times throughout the season. We already thought Stafford was gonna be done by this point. I thought he was done after that neck injury he had. So, you're already playing with house money with him being on the field at all. So I think they do need to have some sort of situation to figure this out sooner rather than later. Now the thing is, well, I guess it was kind of a similar situation with the Packers. You don't have that great of a first round draft pick. Now I don't
It's where the
know
best
if this is
projects land, baby.
I don't know if this is necessarily the season to immediately go draft and try to develop because I mean you've got Mendoza's a Raider. That's a done deal basically. I think the only guy I've seen really even fall down to the range where they could pick is Ty Simpson. Um, do you think they go that route?
Love that. I would love that. I don't think they
I
go
think
that route. I feel like it would be smart to. I feel like they're probably more likely to just get a pretty capable backup. But, especially after, like I mean, Stafford just won MVP. Like, it's really hard to be like, "Sick
that's
MVP, we're gonna draft your replacement." But, like, it would be
true.
reasonable to. Like, he's gonna fall off in a few years. I mean, like, how many years can he possibly have with all those injuries and, like, his lack of mobility now? And I just
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll have to see.
Yeah.
But
The optics on it look weird, like you said, with him just winning an MVP. But I mean, dude, Father Time always wins, always, every time, undefeated,
usually pretty
and
quickly too.
usually pretty quickly. And you know, when you think best case scenario versus worst case scenario versus likely scenario here, your likely scenario is going more towards the worst case scenario than it is the best. Because best case scenario is Stafford plays 5 more years, at a high level, like a LeBron-esque sort of thing, where, and, you know, cool, that would be awesome. What's
Right.
likely? Not that, you know? I mean, I think best, likely scenario is I if he does this next year, I will be floored. If he goes back to back
Me too.
MVP, I
It'd
floored.
be awesome.
That would be insane. I just don't think that that's even close to likely. So yeah, the optics on it look weird when you immediately draft his replacement right after winning an MVP, but I mean, we talk about it all the time. This is a business, man, and that fall off could happen this offseason. He could come into the next regular season and be dog shit. That's also not
And that's why
likely,
people were
but
scared to draft Puka in fantasy this year, man. It's because they said like, oh yeah, Stafford. He was like going into the season banged up, so like that could just happen again.
yeah, I remember it was even likely that he wasn't gonna start week 1.
Yeah, yeah,
And,
that was
you
true too.
know, and yeah, he won MVP and awesome, but yeah, I mean, I'm beating a dead horse at this point. The road ends somewhere, and, having a plan in place and a good one, sorry for the stray to my friends, but you don't wanna do what the Steelers have been doing since Ben's been gone. You don't wanna get in that situation.
That's been miserable.
I
They got a
mean,
guy, Mason Rudolph. They did it.
they have a guy, yes, that's a factual statement, you're correct, but I mean, guy is
They
being
do, they
used
do.
kinda loosely here. We're not talking about, "Man, that's a guy." No, that's yeah, it's a body,
You wanna
but
talk about the Niners?
yeah, man, what's happening with Mac Jones?
Then
You
I
really
think he just
okay.
needs to stay put. Yeah. I
This
personally
is
think I mean, I don't know, because like, how much are you really willing to pay for limited Mac Jones? Like, what team
yeah,
do you gotta specifically be? I could only see him going to, like, the Vikings
yeah,
or, like, maybe the Colts, I guess. It's just you're trading for such a limited guy. It's like, what's the value even worth there to the point where, like, are the Niners getting enough back to where it's worth to trade away your backup quarterback? Probably not. Unless you're like a miserable organization like the Browns, and you're always trading away your backup because you're stupid. Like, but I don't know. I don't think so. They have a 25 million in cap space. Not losing a whole lot. It's like Jawan Jennings, which I think that's kind of rough, and then Kedrick Bourne, who's a he's a role player.
yeah,
Jake Tonjes is a restricted free agent. He'll probably stay. And then other than that, they're probably going to trade Brandon Ayuk, and then from there, they're fine. They got money. They have they have an elite edge and an elite linebacker coming back to play alongside another linebacker, Winners, who has been kind of breaking out this year. Diamador Lenore is like, I know he gets roasted a lot, but he's like legitimately good and has had like a really good season, and he's kind of really stepped up for that team. And I think this team, everything that you'd want them to have to like improve the defense moving forward, they already have it. And this team, I think, is going to be like right back in there in one of the best situations, especially because Purdy's finally getting to be that guy where he's like making
yeah,
stuff happen on his own and doesn't need Kittle and doesn't need Ayuk out there, and like he's finally developing into like a quarterback at that level.
yeah, now, of those guys you mentioned, I think Kendrick Bourne's gone, there's no real reason to bring him back. I do think they will keep Jennings around mainly for the reason that, Ayuk is pretty obviously played his last snap as a Niner, and, he's
Hell,
pretty
as an
okay with
NFL player, maybe what the
yeah,
fuck is happening to him?
I have no idea. That's crazy, but I mean, it's very obvious he's not playing as a Niner ever again. I think you're bringing Jennings back here mainly because, because you're losing Ayuk and also Bourne, and because and I know early on in his career it wasn't his fault. But how much are you haven't been able to rely on Ricky Pearsall at all yet. Um, so I hope that improves.
Yeah, he's
You
had
know,
like injuries and
the,
other
like I
incidents,
said, initially it
and
wasn't
like
his fault with the gunshot.
yeah. Yeah, he's headed a long way back. But no, and then outside of him, it's like a complete wasteland at receiver, and he's injury prone a little bit. So, like, yeah, you can't just bank on him. Like, you need some stability there, too. I think Jennings would be the right pick, too. There's tons of free agent guys they could go after. We've mentioned them all. I mean, I'll mention them all again. It's, hold up.
Dobbs.
Pickens, oh, not Pickens. We'll go Pierce, Evans, Samuel, Jawan Jennings, Rashid Shaheed, Dobbs, Wandale Robinson, Keenan, DeAndre Hopkins. Like, there's a lot of names there. You can get some like role players and stuff, but I can see the Niners doing a reloading again and drafting a wide receiver.
Mhm.
But
Yeah.
outside of that. They need offensive line, even a tackle, because like we just had the conversation about Matt Stafford. Like, eventually, uh, 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 I'm terrible with names today.
Yeah, I've been pretty bad too.
The the Hall of Famer, you know,
Trent Williams.
Trent Williams, that guy. That's just when their name is
Jeez.
Williams. But he's eventually gonna fall off too, so they need that. They need
Yeah.
like a running back because you can't just rely on CMC being healthy again. Like we know how that's gonna go. He's gonna go first overall next year in fantasy, and he's gonna die week 2. And and then probably another interior defensive lineman because outside we also have like the edge. We have Nick Bosa coming back, and then they also drafted a guy. Which one was it again?
I
The
Is
guy from
Bosa gonna
Georgia,
be
Michael
back?
Williams. It's another Williams, I forgot.
Yeah.
What'd you say?
It is Bosa gonna be back week 1?
Yes, it happened pretty early.
It
I
was
would guess
pretty
so.
early, but I don't even remember what the injury was. I just remember it was really serious. I think it was
It
it
was super
ACL?
serious.
ACL or Achilles, I
Probably,
always just lean
yeah.
on one of those. It's usually what it is. Um,
Expected to return in time for training camp.
okay,
A
sweet.
September knee surgery to repair a torn ACL.
Damn, so that happened, like, week
Yeah,
1
I
or
think he'll
something
probably
like
be
that.
back. Yeah, it
Yeah,
was like
I'm
week
I'm sure he
4 or
will be.
something. I guess it might have
Yeah.
been like 2 or 3. I don't know. Either way,
Yeah,
I like the
well,
way this
it
team is. I think they have nowhere to go but up, and Shanahan's one of the best coaches in the league. So
proved it this year.
yeah,
Um,
and got a hilariously low amount of Coach of the Year votes, but that doesn't matter.
is what it
Cardinals?
is. Yeah, fresh start here.
Yeah,
Officially fresh start. In a lot of ways, I don't think Kyler Murray plays a game for these guys anymore, or ever again, I should say.
yeah,
Now,
me too.
where do you think you go here with that? Now, do you ride? Do you go with Jacoby Brissett? Do you draft? Are there
Is
other
he
things you
still
need to
on
worry
roster?
about?
If he's not on roster, don't bring him back. Don't fuck with that. But
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
If
There's
he's still on
really no
roster, then
reason.
yeah, sure, fuck it, run with him. Why not?
He looks pretty
But yeah, Kyler's
solid.
probably gonna be gone. I would consider. Huh?
He looked pretty solid, Jacoby Brissett. Sometimes.
Yeah, yeah. I think he looked fine. He got a lot of passing attempts though. I feel like that inflates it a little bit. But yeah. And I don't know with where to go from here. I wonder if you should be trading Marvin Harrison, man. Like Michael
Literally what
Wilson's
I was
better
gonna
in the
ask you.
role anyway. Like, even if he, like, it does have what it takes to be, like, a good receiver, you drafted him and, like, instantly threw him in the X role, and he's not doing a good job there. Like, and you have Michael Wilson, who, like, is that. Like, he is good in the X role. So, like, either move him out of that role or send him off because he, like, it's just, there's no reason to keep him around at that point.
Well, and you're at a point right now to where you need some sort of compensation. You need something coming in
Yeah,
to
you'd
kinda
be
try to
selling as high
bolster
as you
this
can.
roster. Yeah. Maybe not as high as you possibly can, but, you you you
It's how
very,
you
very
reasonably
much
could.
yeah, you very much can still bank on the youth upside of Marvin Harrison, and I think you only
Right.
have that window with some guys for so long. And I know I'm
Yeah. It
crossing
might
into
even
different
already be passed.
we're getting close. We're getting close. And I'm gonna switch sports for 1 second here because my Chicago Bulls love doing this. They love waiting until somebody that shows promise in their youth has zero tradability anymore, and then they get the worst deal they can for them. And I think if you wait any longer on that with Marvin, because one thing that you have to think
That
about
Kobe
is
White thing.
yeah, yeah, 100%. Um, but like one thing that from that people don't think about is from a team perspective around the league, they're thinking the same thing that we're thinking. They can watch Marvin Harrison Jr. every single week. They know he's not, they know when the iron is hot and when it's not, and when they're going to be able to get somebody for cheap and when they're not. And they're going to be able to identify that pretty soon.
Yeah, and this is gonna be like a whole thing anyway. Like they gotta get a new quarterback. The running back room is gonna need completely rejuvenated too. I think they should probably cut James Conner. Like
There's no
he's been
reason
really
not to.
stable for him, but he's not anything spectacular. And they can save 7 million doing it. Cut Sean Bunting. They saved him another 7 million. Yeah, and outside of that, they need more O line. Need to fix the offense. The defense, I think, is kind of okay. Maybe you see a Buda Baker trade. I could see that, but I don't know what to think of this team. I don't know that they're ever gonna be good at all because they're like sneakily one of the worst organizations. Like not sneakily, people know, but like people always think of like the Jets or the Browns or even like the Cowboys in the modern era. But like the Cardinals are always just like right there at the ocean floor, just hiding from everyone.
And
I don't know.
technically, they're the oldest franchise. I mean, that's
Yeah,
that's what's crazy to me about this, and they've
been
never
down
won a
there the
Super
whole
Bowl.
time, man.
Yeah, the whole
Yeah.
fucking time. Ugh, crazy stuff, man.
Anything else on the Cardinals? They got
No.
a new coach, and I already forgot who it is.
I literally was gonna say the same thing when we started talking about them, and I was like, "I'm just not gonna bring it up," because I
Like, yeah,
remember it
not gonna catch me. I,
I
I'm
remember it
I'm
being
curious.
very
I gotta.
underwhelming.
Me too. Mike LaFleur. That's right. I
Oh,
do
duh,
like him though.
I damn, yeah, I did remember that. Well, I didn't remember it then, but
Anyway,
yeah, I do remember that.
time to the most disgusting and most disgraceful division around. We got the NFC South, baby. Most of these
Hell
teams
yeah.
have plus cap space. You can guess the one that doesn't. Uh, Starting with the Panthers with 11 million, they're losing two centers. That's going to be happy for somebody in free agency. Cade Mays and Austin Corbett. They're going to be losing Rico Dowdle, Christian Roseboom, Nick Scott, Isaiah Simmons, and Jalen Coker is an exclusive rights free agent, so he'll probably be back too.
Yeah, I don't see a single reason not to bring Coker back. Solid
Me too.
depth receiver. No reason not to bring him back. And now, what are you thinking personally with Rico Dowdle? Like, this is just a guy that you can't really depend on him for any sort of steady production, but I mean, he'll randomly blow through 150 yards. So it's like, is how much do you really want that?
I think we've seen back-to-back running backs do this on the Panthers. I'm more willing to bet, like, to put all my chips in on like the scheme in the offensive line is actually what's breaking him out. And he was getting like 30 plus some carries in those games. I don't trust that it's going to be consistent enough that they need to worry about it. Like I've also heard like a Chuba Hubbard trade possibility. I don't know about that either. I feel like once you get him in the number one again, it'll probably be a lot different. But I would be letting Rico Dowdle walk and hoping that a team signs him for like 8 million and give you some compensatory formula going for you. But that's just
Mhm.
me.
Yeah, and that's fair.
And
Um,
with that being said, I don't even consider running back really a need. I mean, I think they could use it the same way as, but I feel like they should focus on bringing back one of these centers. I think they need linebackers because they're losing linebackers too. Uh, if I would kind of like another receiver, unless they can try to figure out Xavier Legette. But other than that, I don't know how sure I am about these guys. And then an edge to pair with Nick Scorton, I think would be good too because he's
mhm.
starting to come alive and show some real juice. But if you could add one more body to that line, I think you'd be ready to go,
Yeah, and
especially with Derek Brown.
they pretty quickly picked up the 5th year on Bryce Young here. That was, I mean,
Reasonable.
yeah, no reason not to. So, um, get
Took you to
another
the
year of him
playoffs, man. Put some respect on Bryce Young's name.
with an 8-9 record.
He did play well in the game. I'll give him that.
Yeah, no, he
Which
was
is why
totally,
I'm
yeah,
not
he was
giving
fine.
Darnold any credit for playing the Rams well either. But I'll give him a little. I'll give him a little credit. But um, yeah, they straight up they just need more talent. They got 11 million going in. They can save around 23-ish million if they cut Tommy Tremble, Ashawn Robinson, Pat Jones, and Andy Dalton, and then they can start filling up those spots if they need to.
Yeah, 100%. And they're a team that has been known to really build through the draft. So we'll look to see that.
Not well.
Um, not well, but they try. Which
Before the past couple, like before last year, they had like a horrendous stretch of bad drafts, and,
Yeah.
like, they're still kinda surviving, like, trying to get past that. That's just, like, endless bad draft era, and they finally got some good guys in there with especially Scorton and, the rookie of the year, Tetaroa.
Yeah. McMillan.
Tetaroa and pass McMillan. But,
My god.
you got anything else? Oh, you
No,
forgot
not
about that?
really. I did.
I was gonna say, no. Nothing
Um,
else. All right, we can move on to the Bucks, who have 14 million in space. They're losing some pretty big names, I think. Like, I don't know that they should bring like a lot of these guys back, but some of these hurt. Mike Evans is gonna hurt. Hassan Reddick, I think he kind of had a down year. Whatever. Jamel Dean, I've been talking him up as my favorite corner in free agency this year. Levante David, plenty old. I think he's still pretty good. Losing him is gonna suck. I would expect them to bring him back if they can. Um, Cade Otton is a free agent. I don't know. Like, I land in a place where I don't think he's actually good or stable enough to want to bring back in this situation. But you have to keep bringing bodies back because Baker needs help. And then Sean Tucker, who I think is actually a decent piece as well, and they're going to be losing him. And I think Rashad White's going, but that's less important. Like, I would rather have Tucker.
yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah,
What do you think about the state after losing these guys? Like,
I think the big one I'll touch on there is, Cade Otton, just mainly because, like, I was actually okay with them kinda moving on from him before this season. I he was a name in the last offseason I was fine with kinda moving on from for them. I think they very well could use an upgrade at that position. I mean, I think this is a pretty good, free agency
Kyle
class for tight
Pitts,
ends. Yeah, I just don't wanna keep saying Kyle
decent.
Pitts all the time, but
I know.
but, I mean, he would be
There's no, there's
awesome,
there's
I
some
think,
names.
but
There's a
yeah,
Yeah, there's Kyle Pitts, Dallas Goedert. We talked about him. Travis Kelsey's an option. I don't think that's a real option. He'll probably just retire if anything. Isaiah Likely, David Njoku, I think are the biggest
yeah,
names
the
there.
all
I
those,
could see a David Njoku here in Tampa. I think that'd be cool.
absolutely, yeah, and
Get him a new shot.
I've always been pretty high on David Njoku. Not really sure why, but I just always liked him, always thought he was
He's
pretty good.
been good for a good while,
Mhm. Bannon just came
but
in really hot this year,
and
so,
he looks marvelous. So
yeah.
they don't really have any potential cut candidates. It's like just Anthony Nelson, which, like, if I read correctly is going to save them 7, maybe. It might just be 2. So, with that, they're going to need linebackers. That's why I think they're going to bring back David. Need a tight end. They could use an edge. I don't think they have anything going for them at edge right now. And then they're going to be hurting at corner as well. Now that Jamel
Luckily
Dean's walking. Hopefully they could sign him back.
luckily their, draft position's pretty decent. I don't know the exact number, but it's pretty decent and, yeah, call back out to it the, fact that this is a pretty deep edge class. So, a lot of teams
I'll
could really
probably go
address
edge
that.
first round.
Yeah. Yep.
All right.
We got
Do the
Saints.
Falcons.
Yeah, we
Oh, you
do
want to do Saints
Falcons.
first? We can do Saints. We'll do Falcons. Falcons they have 27 million going into the season, and they need a new edge because something happened to their current edge.
Yeah, didn't realize he was
He
dating
might
a
do he might
WNBA
do 5 years.
superstar. Yeah.
What's up?
Didn't realize, his girlfriend's actually a WNBA superstar. Yeah, so,
Yeah, I found that on like the second wave of headlines coming out. It was like, oh shit, okay. And yeah, I know. I heard that situation was super fucked up, and I don't really know what all to make of it. But they need to fix edge again. Good for the
again,
Falcons and figuring it out, and then not actually figuring it out. So they're gonna need an
after
edge.
double
Yeah, my
dipping.
notes. I said, dude, I know. And like, it's the second guy they got too. That was the good one, and it's like, what are we supposed to do? But yeah, they need an edge. I think they could use a wide receiver because I think Darnell Mooney's kind of a cut candidate. Gives them 7 million. Or hold up, actually, I think it's more than that. It gives them 7 million. Okay, I think that the Kirk Cousins is like going to be moved. I'm pretty sure they decided it already, and they're gonna owe him 68 million if he's on the roster after March 13th. Yeah, he's probably gone. So, and that might put them in a bad cap situation rather than a good one. But they're losing defensive tackle David Onyemata, Kyle Pitts, Caden Ellis, who's like a blitzing linebacker, Arnold Ebiketie, another edge who ultimately hasn't done anything, and then Tyler Algier. Uh, I don't know what they're gonna do, man. It kind of looks like Stefanski's going into a similar situation, except it's just not the Browns.
Yeah, and that was kind of my major gripe with this. I almost think he just kinda panicked and took a job he was interviewing for and didn't wanna downgrade and, go into coordinator land or anything like that and just because well, and it's like the same thing, a lot
Why
of
would
these
you not?
guys. Yeah, I don't know, but we'll see, man. This is not gonna be a fun situation to really jump into from, initially with a lot of things here. I mean, you Penix, the situation with Penix is already scary. You're overpaying the
He
hell
has
out
to
of Kirk
start.
Cousins. Yeah, but, he can't start the season, you know?
No? Did he get hurt?
Penix
Did I miss
Penix
something? Oh,
tore his
he did get
ACL.
hurt.
Yeah, I mean,
Oh, that
so
sucks.
there's that, and then you're overpaying the hell out of Kirk Cousins. I even saw something today where they're gonna try to negotiate with him and, like, cut him and then sign him back. He's not gonna do that.
Yeah, I heard that too. He might do that, man.
I mean,
No, you're probably right. He's the
unless they
business
give him
man.
the
He's gonna
money.
sign for somewhere else.
Yeah, I mean,
God.
I don't know.
I
It's
mean,
just
they'd have to. They'd have to.
yeah, it's just it's a disaster right now. The top to bottom, this whole thing's a disaster right now. Stefanski's walking into a literal shitstorm. I, I, luckily for him, he's been in many shitstorms before, and he's got a jacket. Uh, so
He's got a jacket. Yeah, good point. No, I mean, if there's anybody equipped to handle a shitstorm, it's Kevin Stefanski. He's unbothered by that shit. That's probably why he went there. They probably gave him the biggest bag, and he's like, "Yeah, sure, whatever. I'll fucking do anything."
I'll get you to the playoffs once.
Yeah. Oh my god. Anymore?
Nah,
Kind of breezing to the
last
NFC South, but they kind of deserve it.
they do. They 100% deserve it. Plus, we have been on this a little long. I think we're hopping into a little delay, unfortunately.
Yeah, I think this is the the longest one we've done by far. So we can
Yeah,
talk about the
it's a
last
big
team, and then we
episode.
can get the hell out of here.
Yeah.
Saints are minus 41 million in the cap space, second lowest in the league. Would you like to guess the first?
Uh, Chiefs.
Yes, the Kansas City Chiefs at minus 57. That that team friendly contract's hitting like some fucking meth right now because they're because they're not in a good position at all. It's really bad, and we'll talk about that next week happily
Oh,
when we got
man.
some other shit going on. But we're gonna talk about the Saints, and like we can easily just talk about the Saints. Like honestly, Saints, get the fuck out of here. Like just. Are you a? Oh, you doing? What is that?
Sorry, I had to call you salty.
Oh, what is? I didn't even see what it was. What is it?
It's salt.
Oh, it's literally salt. Oh, that's
Yeah.
me. Yeah, I'm super salty. No, I've been banging that drum for like the entirety of the Mahomes contract. Like, what are you guys talking about? And I finally get to have it. I just hope they don't just like fix it all in a draft again, and then it's like, okay, well,
Oh,
what
they
did we
will.
even do this for? But anyway, the Saints. We're not talking about the Chiefs. We're talking about the Saints,
Yeah.
who really just need to they just need to let it go. Like we got all these we're losing Taysom Hill, Demario Davis, Cameron Jordan. Those are like the faces of that Saints era that just needed to die, and you just need to let them go and find a way to get under the cap. The only guy they're losing that I think, like Alante Taylor, is also one of my favorite cornerbacks. I haven't mentioned him much. If they can get him back, I think that would be really valuable. But I mean, it's going to be a long road ahead trying to do this shit. So if they just wanted to like take the year off, do a Davis Mills thing, they could do that.
Yeah, Tyler Shuck might be the literal perfect quarterback for this exact situation. You get a young guy that's on a
Poor
cheap
guy.
deal. Yeah, no, 100%, 100%. It sucks to be him, kind of. He's still rich, so whatever, but
He has a shot. He might do it.
you know, he's gonna make the games at least watchable. He's a young guy on a cheap contract, obviously, he's a rookie contract. Um, he might win you some games. He's not gonna be the overwhelming reason you're ever gonna win a game probably, but, you know, he perfect bridge. I it is so time for them to just not even try for a couple seasons, and it's we're fixing the financials right now.
Yeah, you should. Like, why are we doing
Yeah,
this? Just like take your chance. You're irrelevant. Nobody cares about you. You don't have to. You don't have to dip your toes in the QB market again. And your shit's not good enough that you're expected to go buy heavy for all these guys anyway. Just eat the money,
yeah,
please.
yep.
Uh, But
It's
yeah,
time.
I think so too.
And honestly,
I think it's
I'm
also
not gonna
time.
lie. Oh, it's also time for what?
Not good.
Oh,
I was gonna say to get out of here, but
I that's so funny. I was just about to say that is all I have on the Saints. Just let it die. It's it.
oh, yeah,
Don't even sign anybody.
I seriously like your biggest needs are to grow up. Like
Yeah.
Drew Brees is dead. You can move on.
Sean Payton isn't your coach anymore.
It's okay. It's okay, guys. Katrina was
Oh
a long
boy.
time ago. We don't have to do this anymore.
And that was a chop shot.
Yeah, I think that might have been a tick too far.
Oh, I love it.
That was
That
the
was
chop
funny.
shot. Do we have any other random sports news to talk about? Any basketball stuff? Any fucking
Um,
anything?
Not particularly. I am, you know what? And actually, I'll do this right now. I've been thinking about doing a little solo show on recent trade deadline stuff with the NBA. And then also, I wanted to recap this upcoming All Star weekend this weekend. If you're watching this episode, comment, or if you know me, DM me, let me know if you want to see that. If I get literally even like two people to say they want to see it, I'll do it. So, um,
One like, and
uh,
I'll make an NBA All-Star Weekend video. Say less.
you have to A, already be listening to our very small show, and B, make it 2.5 hours into this episode.
Like, God, these guys are my friends, but they expect me to watch how much of this show? Fuck off.
I can almost watch Lord of the Rings, dude.
I'm gonna catch a Star Trek marathon instead. Fuck this shit.
All right, we will see y'all next week.
Yeah, Aaron knows ball. Go watch him talk basketball. It'll be great.
Hell yeah. Peace.
Is that all? Peace.